Hey guys, you're live on the Archie Luxury channel. We're here to talk wristwatches. Let's run the cheesy intro. We'll run the good one today. Hello and welcome to the Archie Luxury live stream channel. How are you today, Timely? Beautiful, beautiful. Great to see you. What is going on in your world? Tell me this.
I have to go computer shopping in the next few days.
Why is that? Why is that? Tell me why. Why is that? What happened? Tell me.
So currently I'm running on a MacBook, and I bought this for photography so I could do the photos and editing and all that kind of stuff, which it works really good for. For streaming, it's all right. It struggles a bit, gets a bit hot, this and that. I've got a desktop, but it's from like 300 years ago, so this definitely won't be able to stream. So I'm gonna look for a proper desktop so I can get a background going, so no one has to see this kind of shit in the background day to day.
Yeah. You know what I would do? Can I give you some advice?
Please do. That's your trade.
What I tend to do is, like I've had a few computers, and maybe I'm old school.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you something. I don't like to get like domestic grade stuff. I actually buy a lot of ex-government computers, right? Because they're commercial grade. Like my laser printer, instead of getting a laser printer that's color and all this shit, I got a heavy duty. Let me show you a heavy duty laser printer, and I got 3 of them. There's one for the kids to use. There's one I use, and my dad's even got the same one, right?
Yeah.
And I use the same cartridges. So, but I get them I buy them. You can buy them secondhand. You can get them. They repacked. So
you recycle it. You get it refilled.
And I got to tell you something. If you buy some of this, like I don't really want bells and whistles and games and shit. I just want a computer that works. Up in Brisbane, there's a place called Australian Computer Traders. They buy and sell. They buy government stuff and they sell it off, right? So I'm running Windows. This is Windows. What Windows? I think in Windows 11 or 10 or 11. And you know what? I want more commercial build than domestic build. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
And the computer was under $500.
Oh well, that's pretty good.
But you know what I mean? So because all I'm saying is, yeah.
Sorry, go carry on.
All I'm saying is, instead of say getting a, like going to Harvey Norman and that and buying $2,500, you think, well, hang on a minute, let's get a commercial build, commercial grade stuff, and it kind of works, it kind of works there. And so Showcase Watchers, g'day from the UK, fellow watch nerds. And Starchy's putting a comment there. You know what, Starchy? I don't really want to talk about other channels and what goes on. I got to be totally honest with you. I prefer to move away. I'm not here. I'm not the morals police. I'm not nothing like that, okay? And you know what? For me, I just concentrate on my own life and my own happenings and goings and things.
Do whatever they got to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't want to do stunts like that. That's not my cup of tea. I mean, I've run shtick. I used to do gags and that. But you know what? It's not for me to do because look, someone's personal life is their personal life. What they want to do is their business. But you know what? I want to stay out of it. I want to stay in the watch space. And you know, I don't want to crucify anybody. I mean, Jesus Christ. Those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. And
100%.
you know, I don't want to get into tacky stuff like that there. Yeah, so I got to tell you, I would seriously look at some ex-government PC and say, okay, what's a good commercial grade? Like I get a HP or a Dell.
Yep.
And I also want a heavy-duty monitor. You know, so all I'm saying to you is sometimes you don't need all the bells and whistles of the latest. You could get a commercial grade ex-government one.
Yeah.
And instead of having one, buy two. Have a spare or a second. Like you know,
well,
you just.
I'll tell you what, just so we don't bore everyone in the chat. How about after, like, you know, when you have time today or something, if you could send me a link and some specs of, because I have no idea. I'm not a computer guy. That's more your trade than mine. But if you can give me a clue as to what I need to do, we'll go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Now, Timely, you've got a thing pulled up in the corner. Now, guys, let's turn the super chat button on. Super chat. Actually, let's start a poll today. What's poll today? Actually, we could always can we ask a computer question or not? Or we shouldn't ask.
If you like, but
Are
remember,
you a Mac person or a PC person? I don't know.
Running a poll is dangerous. You remember the outcome of these things not too long ago, right?
Yes. I'll just ask a question. Are you a Mac? Are you a PC? Are you a PC or Mac person? I'd be interested to know. And then the next question is going to be, what watch do most Mac people wear and what watch do PC people wear?
Not bad.
We'll check. Okay, let's have a look at what we've got here. Let's have a look at some interesting stuff. Timely, talk to my son. There we go. Mr. GMT's giving you some advice. Oh, look at this. David SW. We got the root beer two-tone.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. I just come across it. It looked like it was, you know, I know it's in US dollars. It's not in Aussie pesos, but I thought that the price wasn't too bad considering.
No, that's a beautiful watch.
I wouldn't knock one back. Let's put it that way.
No, I know exactly what you mean there.
So for you, how does this fare? Where does a root beer stand in your lineup of what you think out of the GMTs? What would be your number one?
Look, I got to tell you, and we've got the professor is joining us. Hello, how are you?
Professore, how are you?
Hey, my favorite people.
Hey, no worries.
I think this is the first time I've spoken to the professor, to be honest.
Oh, sorry, you're muted, Professor.
Sorry. My wife is vacuuming the sofa.
No worries. Look, I got to tell you, I think this is a beautiful watch.
Yeah.
I think would be a perfect combo pair. I got to tell you, the three most useful complications are some sort of diver, some sort of GMT, and some sort of chronograph.
Yeah.
That's the three main functions. I got to tell you, I think this watch here is spectacular. A two-tone GMT in the root beer. Man, I love the rose gold. I love the brown. This is perfection. Okay, the question is, I probably wouldn't have a bluesy and a root beer. I would have a root beer and a steel sub, or I would have a bluesy and a steel GMT function watch, right? But this is superb.
Here's a big mistake.
SD41. I turned one down at list. Yeah, that's true. Well, look, but the thing is, it depends if you had money too. How are you going to pay for this? Even if one is offered to you, how many of us have 20 grand? We can say, okay, we're going to buy this watch on a speccey. I mean, you've got to be financially responsible. I've just made a video which will come out in the next day or so, Thursday, actually 2 days, saying the achievement of getting one steel Rolex is bloody fucking hard. You know it. Like, this is not just $500. This is thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? It's a really it's an accomplishment. You can't just, I mean, you can't just jump into this easily. This hurts. This is real hurt money. If you're a family man with kids and a mortgage, fuck, $20,000 that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Senor Professor, what do you think of the rupee?
I prefer the older one.
Yeah.
And I would prefer this one on a Jubilee. It's still a very beautiful watch. Still a very beautiful watch. But, you know, if you have one of the other GMTs, you're good to go. If you have a bluesy, you really don't need this one.
So you're talking about something like this instead, correct? And we've got showcase watches.
Oh, look at this. Showcase watches, £9. What's your thoughts on the Moon Swatch being Watch of the Year 2022? Interested in panel opinion. Personally, I don't mind it. It's adorable fun on the wrist for those who don't have luxury money. What's my own view? Look, I think there's a lot better watches than a Swatch, Moon Swatch. I can tell you that. I think there's a lot better. But I think it's really interesting because it opens the watch industry to a lot more people. So if this is a step in, well, that's quite okay there. I don't think it's the best watch, but affordable fun is always good. That's my view.
I'm not a fan, I'll be honest. If it brings people into the watch hobby, that's a great thing. Personally, I think they could have finished this thing a little bit better. I get the price point. I understand what we're talking about here. We're not talking about a real speedy. We're talking about a Swatch battery plastic watch. I get it. Oh, sorry, bioceramic. But I mean, a proper acrylic crystal so that you could get the scratches out would have been good. That's only like a $10 thing. That's nothing, you know, over the top. Being able to change batteries and all sorts of great stuff, and the strap could have been a bit better. I've seen a few of these in person. I've seen Mr. GMT's ones. Not knocking them. They're a good sort of entry if you want to get into the hobby. Not my thing. For the money that you're going to spend, what is it, like 300 Australian or whatever they retailed at? I mean, you'd probably get something else.
I gotta ask you something, guys. I got a dilemma. Do you want me to run a dilemma by you?
Yeah, sure.
A real life street dilemma. This guy did a paid review and he's helped me out in the past. I want to show you a real dilemma here. This is a real question. And I like this question because it's his collections. He's not super, super rich, but he's got some nice shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So firstly, let me just bring up what he's got there so you can see. This guy currently has 2 watches. And okay, so what does he have? I'm going to bring it up on the screen now. I'm going to read you what he's got. Okay. And then you can tell me what he should do. So that's one of them. The other thing he has, I'm just going to bring this up now so we can see 2-piece combo. Here we go. 2-piece combo. Okay, so this guy here. Okay, so let me just read you the question and let's answer this question here.
Sure.
Just to finish off showcase. If it brings people into the hobby, it's not a bad thing. But I think, geez, that's not the best watch of the year. I mean, that's ridiculous. But it's a mass market, probably the most popular, most controversial. That was incredible what happened. Now, I'm going to read it to you. Can I ask a question? This is what he said to me. I currently have a Rolex Steel Panda Daytona and the Datejust 41 blue dial, fluted bezel on Jubilee. I'm thinking of adding a third piece. The AD says I can get either. Let's go through this thing. 1, a steel Explorer 136. Number 2, a two-tone Explorer. Okay, two-tone Explorer. And number 3 is a two-tone Submariner black, and that's the Bumblebee.
Yep.
What would you go for? What would you do? What would you go for? And I got to be honest with you, I'd probably go with neither of them. My own opinion is I think the 36 Explorer 2 is maybe a bit small. Okay, because he's got the Panda, which it's 40, but it wears a bit smaller.
Yeah.
He's got the 41. I don't know whether the 36. Normally, sports watches, if you're going to go smaller, the dress watch is smaller, not the sports.
Not the other way around.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of like the white metals. He's very much gone for white metals. So I don't know whether I would be wanting to add two-tone to the mix. But I would certainly say a sub date would be beautiful. Or a no date sub. That'd be beautiful. Maybe an Explorer 2. A black, maybe. What do you think? Tell me, what do you guys think? Timely first. Of those 3, so his dealer has said Explorer 36, Explorer 36 two-tone, or a Bumblebee two-tone sub that's steel and black.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yellow, gold, steel, yellow, gold, and black. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the third option? There was 2 there.
Well, sorry. Explorer 136, Explorer 136 two-tone.
Okay.
Or a Bumblebee. See, I don't like any of them.
To be honest, I wouldn't go for any of the 3.
Yeah. What would you add? Not trying to push you in your opinion. What would you add to that?
You're right. Ooh. Let's be honest. If you've got the kind of money where you're looking at some of these, but like the Bumblebee, for example, why not just wait, put a little bit extra on top, and go for a Pepsi?
Oh,
why not?
No, the problem is, this is the key. He gets these from the AD.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the AD is not offering a Pepsi. You're not going to get a Pepsi. If the AD's giving you a Daytona, they're not going to give you a.
I would say thank you very much. Allow someone that really is into these watches have them, and I would wait for something else. See what comes up. If you've got a good rapport with them, I guess you can skip one, right? One time round.
No, but I would say, look, you really want to. I reckon a 42 Explorer 2 wouldn't be. I mean, a black dial one. They're apparently.
Yeah, they're nice.
They're not that hot. You know what I mean? It's not like you're only asking for hot shit. Yeah. I mean, they're a good watch, but the dealer would. I don't think he'd be that.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's in the cards. Here we go. Tanzil, $5, and he's got a good point.
Tanzil, $5. Would love to hear Professor's view on this, please, and thank you. Yes, let's get the Professor talking about this now. What would you say, Professor?
Thank you. I think he keeps the AD keeps all the watches, and he asks for either a no date sub or a white
date
Explorer 2
sub. Yes.
The white one is more difficult to get than the black one. Of course, it depends, because the Explorer 2 is it's a watch for those who can accommodate a larger case, but also it's very helpful if you have gray eyes like myself. The watch is more visible. The Daytona is a completely invisible watch. For people like myself, I mean, I never look at my time. I only wear watches because I'm fascinated, but I never look at the time. So I think he needs to be patient. Plus, you know, April is around the corner. Not that he will be able to obtain anything, but he could, in a couple of years, get on that queue and eventually get something. So I would, if I were him, I would wait, because he has two very nice watches. Why go for a third one right away?
Yes, I think he's sort of saying, yeah, okay, yeah, he does have some great watches there. Yeah, I agree with you.
So this Datejust we're seeing here, what size is this? This 39?
41 Datejust, 41,
right, so
41.
41.
It's fucking beautiful, isn't it? That's beautiful, isn't it? What do you think?
Very nice. It's very
it's
nice.
a beautiful,
I mean,
beautiful
doesn't
piece,
need
but it
any
looks
more
like
watches.
that's the limit of his wrist size, yeah?
Honestly, he doesn't
It's
need
the
more
limit
watches.
of his. Yeah.
Not to lug. It looks like that's about as far as we can go, yeah?
Yeah, I'd say so. What do you reckon?
I think so.
Explorer 2 is probably as timely as a little bit on the very large size for him.
Chunky side, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's going to be chunky.
I
Chunky
reckon.
monkey.
Oh, you think it's too chunky?
40 mil sub no date, or if it's 41
40?
now, so be it.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't sound convinced.
No, I tend to agree with you there. I think maybe the sub would be a great, because let's face it. Oh, let's have a look here. We've got showcase watches, £1.80. This dude's wrist crying out for 36 mil Explorer. Can I tell you something really weird, James? Showcase watches, and that's when I wore a 36 mil Explorer. My first Rolex was a 1016, which was 36. Then I got one again in the late 2008, 2008, I think I got it. And I loved it. But then years later, I came back to it and I thought, fuck, this is small. Does that perception, do you ever have that perception? Like, you think it's perfect. Then later on, you come back to it and you go, fuck, that's a bit small. No? Do you ever have that?
Yep. And that's why I'm getting rid of my smaller vintage pieces at the moment. You go from a Black Bay 41 or, you know, the Ottavia the Reverso, and then you go back to a vintage one. You're like struggling to,
yeah. He's saying this dude's wrist is screaming out for a 36. I don't know. See, the thing is, would you stay with the AD if the AD will let you get this stuff? Would you? Is this what you do or not? What do you think?
Look, I would personally just let someone else have whatever the AD is offering at the moment if it's not for you. If you're that keen on an Explorer, go and try one on.
See, the problem is, we've got a super chat here.
Correct.
For Tan Zeal, $5 Canadian. I wonder if Archie looked at his 3919 on his wrist and said, "Fike, that is small." You know what? It is. It is small. Yeah, yeah. At the time, I didn't think it was that small, but in hindsight, yeah, it is really fucking small.
How long ago did
It
you
is.
have the 3919?
Oh, I had a 3919 in 2000. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
In
back then it was
2001, and then I actually got a quartz one, a 3944, and that was actually I got that. When did I get that? I got that in about 2007,
Yep.
2008, 2007, and I got to tell you, yeah, it's funny sizing. You look back on it and think, oh, that's small now. But at the time, I never thought it was that small. I thought, oh, that's okay.
Professor, what's your take on this watch? Elegant or microscopic?
33 mil, Professor. 33 mil.
Should you get a watchmaker's loop to check the time with it? Does it come free with it, or is it good?
No. This is from an older era when, people back then, people used to wear these watches, but back then people were thinner.
Well, this is true too.
I mean, now people are becoming
indulging. Yes.
And the last 15 years, watches have been growing bigger and bigger. I mean,
exponentially.
I mean, even Rolex produced, the date, which was 41, and then it shifted back, and then even the steel was 41, the super case, and then they went down a notch.
Showcase watches £9. I get it, Arch. I wore a Planet Ocean chronograph for a year and then sold it and got a 40 mil sub. The sub felt like a lady's watch for about 2 weeks until I got used to it. I never went big watch again. Now, this Planet Ocean, I think these are 44, James, if I'm right. 44. Yeah. Fantastic watch. Fantastic watch. It's kind of funny. You remember watches were getting very big. Pam was kind of early 2000s.
Yeah,
because Pam, the standard Pam, exactly, 44 mil.
Chunky monkey.
And then they went bigger for certain models. The California dial, I think, was 46 mil. It was monster, or 47. Yeah. It's kind of funny. The funny thing, Professor, if you look at advertising from the 90s, they never even mentioned the case size. Like, that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't.
You got the name of the watch and then the size straight away.
Now Showcase is saying, I never went big watch again. Yeah, interesting. We've got another super chat here from Yankee Doodle. $2. Falling in love with a shitter. Longines. Dolce Vita.
Dolce Vita.
See, this is really capitalizing on a, rectangular watches haven't proved, besides the Reverso, they haven't proved to be that popular. Like the Patek gondolas are relatively cheap. Yankee Doodle, you're a VC man. You can't get away with just that type of answer there.
And to be honest, the Longines line at the moment, the in stuff is more the heritage range and what do you call it? What's the new one again? The GMT one that they've got, the Zulu time. They seem to be the more in ones at the moment.
We got an interesting super chat. Tanzeel, $5. AC3, thoughts on the new release of Piaget Polo Perpetual Calendar. Let's call it up. Let's have a look at this. The Piaget Polo, that's a 70s. Yeah, 70s watch. If they were so, look at this. Very, very Nautilus. Holy shit. It's a perpetual calendar. And we're just adding Mikey's joining us. Hey, Mikey. Hey, Mikey. Look,
Hi,
I got it.
Hey, Mike.
I got to tell you, this is how much is it? How much is it?
Hello,
Timely?
Professor.
Hey, Mike. How much is it?
Let's have a look.
It is very Nautilus-y. Nautilus.
Yeah.
Nautilesque. Nautilesque.
Well, for a start, it's 8.65 mil thick. So it's not a thick watch.
Ah, okay.
Just trying to
No.
find pricing on
No,
this thing.
that's
What's the ticket on it? Is Piaget? Is that the company?
yeah, Piaget.
Yeah,
These are Piaget.
They're
Professor,
not cheap.
in your world, this was bankers would wear a Piaget, a gold Piaget in the 80s and 90s, wouldn't they?
So and so.
Yeah.
They tried, but no, I don't think they were very popular, even by banker standard.
Yeah, Piaget's a strange brand, you know. It's kind of
price available upon request. That's what I'm getting.
Okay, yeah, no, that's
I mean,
okay.
This will probably go for. This is precious metal or steel?
Yeah, we're looking at about 20 grand US thereabouts.
Oh, okay.
For a perpetual calendar.
That's the chronograph. My bad. Sorry. No, I can't get a pricing on it at the moment.
No, that's okay.
This is a chronograph with a moon phase.
Yeah.
It's interesting they've introduced that green. That's a very that seems to be the trendy colors of the time, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah.
It seems to be. It's in steel. Sorry, just out of interest there. That polo with the green dial, that's in steel. It's a perpetual calendar.
Micro rotor.
The thing is, yes, micro rotor. Yes, it does. But just hang on. Hold your horses. The thing about this watch is, I'd much rather get a. Fuck me dead. It's 60,000 euros.
There you go.
60,000 fucking euros. Now, let me tell you something. That uses a Piaget 1255 movement, 21.6 beats, 42-hour power reserve. Now, the only thing is, okay, $60,000. Let me just say one thing to you. You know what I would say against this watch?
What?
Patek Philippe.
No. Patek perpetual calendars over 100. No. Okay. Because and Patek doesn't produce a perpetual calendar. Well, they do in this. They actually in the Nautilus they do, but fucking wouldn't you get a JLC if you wanted a perpetual calendar in steel? JLC on the secondary market would skin this fucker alive.
Yeah.
Maybe 60,000. That you'd have to be out of your. For that money, I'd rather get a Patek annual calendar. Tanzil, $5. Follow-up question. I also said it was too expensive for a steel perpetual. Yeah, 100%. Compare it to the JLC Master Ultra Thin Perpetual in steel. If they were the same price, I would still prefer the JLC because I think that is a far better brand.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
No doubt.
Piaget,
Sorry, go ahead.
Mike, have you ever come across somebody in your day-to-day life who's wearing a Piaget?
I have never seen a Piaget in the wild. No.
I think I watched a French film about 10, 15 years ago where one of the guys was wearing a Piaget. That's the closest. Man, Piaget, look at this. Okay, so look at this, Timely. You've just called it up, right? Look at this. This is 41. Now, the other one was 60,000 euros. That's like 90,000 Aussie, right?
Yeah.
And the JLC, you know what this goes for second hand?
No.
I'll just mute you, Mikey, if you're typing
12, 13, 15 Australian.
Yeah, they fucking
rocks like heaps, like a rock.
But it's a fantastic. That's okay, Mikey.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
All right, Professor. Pick one. Which one am I? This watch on the screen at the moment, or this one?
Of course. This is like garbage.
Yeah.
Expensive garbage.
I
should sell its manufacturer to JLC and move on.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a plan.
100. What were they thinking by doing this? Can I ask you that? What the fuck?
I don't know, but I mean the JLC is just such. It has elegance in spades. It's a beautiful piece. Dial layout great. I don't know. To me, this is just so much more of a sexier piece.
Somebody mentioned in the chat also Blanc Pain may also make a perpetual calendar.
Yeah, I've never been a big Blanc Pain. I'd
still. I mean, Blanc Pain or JLC over the Piaget is my point. Like I would take something with heritage and a name behind it before that Piaget, for sure, especially for the money.
I don't know what they're thinking, really. It's I got to tell you, this is this JLC here. Look at the case. Look at the moon phase at 12. This is actually perfection in itself. Mm-hmm. These are horrendously expensive to service. You know that.
Have you ever thought about getting one of these then, Archie?
You know what? I think they're beautiful. I think they're a great watch. The only thing that scares me, let me say this, what scares me is service cost.
Let's be honest, right? You got your 5110 serviced, and that was how much?
The funny thing is, that's interesting you say that. You know, to service the JLCs, they aren't much cheaper than the Pateks.
Yeah.
And the problem is the JLCs aren't worth. I know this isn't a business decision, but what I'm trying to tell you is when the service costs are fucking high, you got to say, fuck.
Got to factor it in.
You know, showcase watches, £1.80. Why isn't JLC as a brand more loved? I think the problem with JLC is Richemont pegs it in a certain way, because Richemont owns Vacheron. They own a number of really great brands, and they isn't more loved. I think they are loved. The Reverso is loved, isn't it?
I think so.
Absolutely.
Look, but I think where we're going with it is, why isn't it to a higher standard? Like not to a higher, the watch itself, but why don't we hold it to a higher standard? So you got like Patek and everyone up there. We're not holding it to a high enough standard. I think he's getting it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I think that's where he's going with it.
Hey, James, I got to tell you also, Zenith isn't as loved. Now, I can tell you the answer to James. The reason Zenith isn't loved as much as it should be is because they had some fucking ugly models in the 90s. Okay, they had some fucking ugly, whereas JLC didn't really commit those sins there.
The ugliest JLC I've seen was there's a Polaris World Time with this red friggin' crown hanging off it. Horrible. But other than that, sorry. So this one here.
Tan Zeal, $5. Breguet 77. Is it drip or skip? Actually, this is like an old regulator type format there. You see, I think it's fucking amazing. If you know what this is, pocket watch ethos going way back. I personally love it, but what does the panel think? Don't listen to me. You tell me what you think.
I love it.
Professor,
vintage.
what do you think?
Very nice. Beautiful.
So let's have a look at it. So how does it do it? Let's just go back up there. What does it have there? Let's just have a look. So the time. So we got the minutes
down below.
What's the time done by? The time is done by that date window. Is that the date or that's the time?
No, that's the date window. The time's
hour.
done by the lower complication, and then the large hand is a seconds hand.
It's a two-hander. The big hand looks like it's the minute hand. The small hand down the bottom in the sub dials the hour.
Yeah, the hour.
That's with a date. That's what it looks like.
Interesting way of doing things, but so fucking crazy. What I love about this watch is it's like remember 24-hour watches, you know, Cosmonaut, and they're also, nobody can read it. Only you can do it. It's like giving the keys to an American who's never driven a stick shift. They wouldn't know what to do.
It's like throwing someone that drives manual into a Model T Ford and asking to drive that.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't have
you driven a Model T Ford, Timely?
No, but I've seen on a doco that the pedals are like, I think there's a reverse pedal and accelerators up on the column.
It's
like
nuts.
It's just completely different.
I've driven one.
And I think, Mikey, when you take your foot off the clutch, you leave your foot on the clutch to actually have no clutch. You know, so it's actually reversed to a normal car.
It's almost like driving
Guys, sorry, I cocked up. My bad. He meant this. I saw the number.
Sorry.
It's a 7077.
Actually, I love this even more. This is what the hell, drip or skip?
Sorry, sorry.
No, that's absolute. It's a chronograph. Holy shit!
But it was still nice to see a vintage piece anyway. There.
You know, in answer to the question about JLC and the fact that it's Richemont, and you can almost like compare it to Porsche, where their 911 is their flagship model, and they're not going to let their lower models, even though they outperform the 911, they're not going to let them outperform the 911 because the 911 is their flagship car.
Exactly. They got worried with the Cayman. The Cayman.
All right, guys. Is this a drip or a skip? We got a few super chats banking up.
I love it. 100%. I love this watch. It's beautiful. Yes.
What do you think? Thumbs up. Hunting cat.
Thumbs up.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
Okay, so it's a thumbs down for the hunting cat. For me, it's a thumbs up.
Okay, next super chat we got is creating wealth out of thin air, $5. Arch, let's build one brand, one watch per brand, the perfect 5 collection. Classic that passes Archie luxury test. Chronograph, GMT, diver, wind and wear, and dress watch. Yes. We got a few super chats there. I tell you what, we might just come back to that because that's actually a really good discussion point. Let's just get the next one. Tanzil, $5. Mont Blanc, Star, Legacy, Orbis, Terranium. Ignore how much you think Mont Blanc is a pen company. Do you think the aesthetics? What do you think of the aesthetics of this piece? Let's just pull it up straight away.
Terrarium. I think it's terrarium or terrarium.
I quite like it. It's taking the fact that I don't like Mont Blanc as a company, but I actually quite like this. It looks nice.
Is it a world time, eh?
Yeah. I like it, Professor. Professor hates it.
He doesn't like
it.
And
Timely, what do you think?
I don't mind it. Look, I'll be honest with you. It reminds me of Jonathan's world time.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
MX5
I don't mind it.
NC, $8. Arch, what's your opinion on the GS44 style watches in general with the sharp edged lugs? Cool or dated? GS44. Let's pull it up.
Having a look.
He's talking the Grand Seiko.
Grand Seiko with the sharp lugs.
Yeah, I look that they are 70s, but I love that retro styling. Personally, I like it. I think it looks quite nice. This is the very 60s, 1960s, very 60s type rendition. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. I like it. Personally, I like it. What do you think, Timely?
I like it. I like that retro kind of a look. I've seen a few of the old school Grand Seikos with very similar cases, high beat movements, beautiful watches. It just reminds me of that. So I'm all for it. I like it.
Yeah.
With Mitsubishi polishing.
Yeah. I wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating crackers and spilling them.
How much does it go for?
Let's have a look. Let's go shopping.
If it's in some inordinate amount, then
watch it not bring anything up now just to get me. Yeah, as you can see.
Actually, the best thing is if you go back one, Monochrome, when they do the watch review, they actually normally put prices there. You know, that review is a Monochrome, a blog to watch. He also puts prices. So you just click that, open it up in another window, and you see what they go for there.
It is quite a nice looking watch. It's got classic lines. But if it's like 40 or 60,000 bucks, then
no, I think this would be about the 4,000 or 5,000 US mark. I can't see it.
Yeah. If in that
price for steel model starting at 6,000 US.
Okay, it's a great watch.
Cool, very cool.
Next super chat we got is Tanzil, $5. Pull up IWC's website and go to the Ingenua line. This Gerald Genta design, or what the heck is going on? These don't look like the same design. Yeah, so the Ingenuas, they were supposed to be the Milgauss equivalent. They've turned the line into a chronograph sports line. I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
No, they have been majorly revamped, Archie. I mean, these are not the original Gerald Genta designs.
Doesn't look like the same. Yeah, I think they're just using the nameplate, which is a shame because I loved mine. Mine was a gorgeous. I had the 3227.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really classy type of Ingenua, but what the heck's going on? Marketing people, I think. Blame Scotty in marketing.
Yeah.
All good. All right.
That was my point about JLC too.
So to answer Tan, it's a disaster, Tan.
Probably inspired, I guess, but not actual directly Genta designed.
And that's weird because Piaget is pulling the Piaget Polo into Genta design when they were in the 70s. A lot of them were quartz. They were quartz little micro type watches. It's kind of strange. Next super chat we got here is Thomas G. We've got that other one to come back to. Make a 5-piece, one brand per watch. What do you think of the new Habring 2 Messina Labs?
So it's two brands he's talking about. So you got a Habring 2 is this. These are their watches. This is their lineup in a way.
Yeah.
Right, so we can see. So
have they got a collab with Messina Labs?
I don't think so.
No,
look,
Messina,
I don't know enough about these brands.
He's just that guy who was on a few forums. He's a real estate agent in New York with a.
So there's one of the pieces, right?
Yeah, I never really liked Habring. Did you like Habring, Professor?
Yeah, it's not bad.
And
it's not great.
How much
is what they have at the moment. So what do you think, Arch?
That wobbly-eyed panda in the middle is just wrong. It's got a big eye and a little eye.
Honestly, the Messina Labs watches, I hate. I don't
Is there
really
something
like
there? Is there something there you want me to go and zoom in on a little bit? Look, we'll go. How about we go down here? This chronograph, right? To me, this reminds me a little bit of the Tissot one that's currently out at the moment. It's got that kind of a feel, black dial, gold markings, and so forth. Personally, I'd rather go for the Tissot than this. I think it's just a better looking watch, even though it's got the automatic instead of the manual wind in it. But I mean, this is what we're looking at. So, what do you think?
I don't find this.
Thomas G's in love. You can see he's got the big face with the big, beautiful love heart eyes there.
They call this a sector dial, right?
See what he does. They steal design cues from other watches. I don't like that idea. Inspired. I don't like that sort of idea.
Oh. All right, cool. Let's go around. Professor.
Next one. Oh, sorry.
Hang on, just quickly. Let's quickly go around. Let's give him Google in training, 100% Pavel. Yep. Well done. Professor, what do you think of these watches? Mikey?
I don't know. No, I don't. No.
I like the aesthetics of them, but I know they're pulling from other larger brands and so forth.
Yeah,
from other,
I see some things I kind of like.
They copied Omega on the
previous. They've copied,
one.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I see some things I kind of like, but overall, like it's kind of that. Yeah, they don't.
All right, cool. SR Bell 67 Archie.
Does Mark Goldberg have a gap? I have no idea. Mark's my friend, and I got to look after my panelists. He's a great guy. I love
thank you very
Mark
much
Goldberg. Now let's get back into the. Oh, we got another one from Tanzil. Battle of the best dressed watches, tuxedo theme dial, Universal Geneve pole router tuxedo versus Breitling Top Time limited edition.
Yep, just bringing them up.
Wow. Did you ever watch that cartoon Top Cat? Remember Top Cat? Top Cat as a kid?
Yeah.
Top Cat.
Yeah.
Well, that's the tuxedo pole router. And Breitling Top Time limited edition. Okay, I'll bring that up.
Very much Mad Men inspired. These cross tuxedo type themes here.
Kind of like this one.
And we saw the Top Time limited edition the other week, Archie. Remember when we were talking about the Top Time, and then there was a Bond sort of, I guess, like a themed sort of limited edition?
Yes.
That was the one we were talking about, which is this particular model.
I love it. Oh, look, I love the way they've done the Top Time limited edition. The one with the white blue dial. That's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I would actually fucking buy one of those. That's so beautiful. Top Time chronometer. Wow.
But
Professor, what's your opinion?
Professore.
Okay.
These are the options.
No, this one, forget. Give it
back
to them.
Bonk.
Yeah. Previous one is very nice. Yeah. Very nice.
Top Time. I got to say, it is a beautiful piece. This is one that I'm really liking. All right. Tan the Men, thank you very much. That was actually a really good one. I really like that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Also, I think that's beautiful.
That's the one. I didn't want us to forget the 5-piece.
No. Okay, so let's look at this. One watch per brand. Okay, so where it gets tricky is we want Rolex to be GMT and Diver. That's where it gets tricky. So chronograph. Okay, so I would have to say Speedmeister. Could we go Speedmeister for chronograph? We'd say Speedmaster chronographs. Man on the Moon. Okay.
Man on the fucking moon.
GMT. GMT. I think the most iconic GMT there is
Pepsi.
You'd have to go Pepsi, wouldn't you? Pepsi.
Yeah.
Pepsi. You have to go Pepsi. Okay, that's the reality. We may not like that, but that's what you'd have to do. Pepsi. A diver. Now, this is where we run into trouble because we would love to say Submariner. We've already used up our Rolex on the GMT.
Correct.
Okay, so So the other option is, what's a great diver is the 50 fathoms. That's kind of a
50
pseudo
fathoms, that's what I was just gonna say.
luxury sort of diver, you know. The other option is, if you didn't like that, you could possibly go for a Breitling Super Ocean Heritage.
Or a Seamaster Heritage, you know, the like James.
Seamaster Heritage.
Yes.
No, but we can't because we've already got the Speedmaster as the man on the chronograph.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're right. You can't
50 fathoms.
50
Special
fathoms
edition, 50 fathoms. That sexy looking one. So that's our 3 so far.
And then a wind and wear and dress
reverso.
All right.
I'd say a reverse, of course.
Reverso for dress.
But he's saying a wind and wear and a dress watch. So
Yeah,
so that's
so reverso for dress.
Yes.
And go for a Patek. Or vice versa. Get the reverso for the wind and wear and the Patek for your dress, Calatrava.
Yeah, there you go.
In precious metal. That'd also be a precious metal, haute horology.
White gold, just like the Pontiff himself.
Or even the 5196. No, 5196 manual wind. It's
happy day.
Any professor, any thoughts? Give me some thoughts. Throw some thoughts into this.
Alternatives, Professor. What do you think?
Can we do all this with one brand?
No, he's saying one watch per brand.
One watch per brand.
Otherwise, you just go Rolex for everything.
Yeah, I would just go Rolex for everything.
Yeah, too easy.
I'll just be 1 minute there.
Okay, but we have 2 Rolexes here already, right? GMT and Diver.
Yeah,
well,
50 fathoms.
We went 50 fathoms for the Diver, and
we went 50 for the GMT. Okay.
So just because,
Pepsi GMT.
The Submariner, no date, I guess, would be iconic, but
yeah, that would be that could be in the running for the Diver.
Why don't we do a Breitling chronograph?
Yes, we certainly could do that. Breitling.
That would open up Omega. That would open up Omega for the Seamaster. Well, then we already have the Submariner for the Diver. Or we not? We just discussed. We mentioned the Submariner. But
I tell you what, the other thing we could do is chronograph. We could stick with the Speedy GMT. We could go for a Tudor GMT, Diet Pepsi. We could then get a Submariner. We could then get a Patek and a Reverso.
You know, for a Diver, we could go Royal Oak.
I still think we shouldn't discount this particular watch because it was one of the first dive watches. You know, the original back. I didn't say the first, but one of the first dive watches.
This is the 50 fathoms.
Yeah, special edition.
Yeah, I agree. I say we stick with the 50 fathoms for the Diver.
Just saying, my opinion. One man's opinion. One lower middle class man's opinion. Tan the man. Super chat. Trivia question. Go, Arch.
Tan the man. Here we go. $10. Trivia question. I asked JJ this one and he got it right. If you get it wrong, you are demoted to Archbishop. What was common between the Royal Oak, Nautilus, and 222 that is never talked about? Oh, this is tricky, Dicky.
I'll try and help you out here, even.
Is it the JLC movement? But no, the Nautilus didn't.
That'd be my guess. They all ran the same movement.
I'm not sure the Nautilus did, but
yeah, Nautilus has a movement. The Nautilus
they were integrated bracelets, integrated type bracelets. Geez, this is a tricky dicky question. What is it, Tanzeel? The Zeal. What is this?
Archbishopness is being.
I think it's coming my way, to be honest with you. It's definitely coming my way. Holy shit. What can you say there? I mean, they mentioned Gerald Gentry time and time again. It can't be that.
The Nautilus uses a Calatrava movement.
And then
they were all steel. Oh, I sort of got it right. So I think I get a rap on the fingers. Well, you got it wrong. I thought the paddock Nautilus did in the fight. They all used JLC movement? Nautilus did in the 3700, Fiker. Archbishop. Holy
shit. One I even got right. I even got that one right. That's amazing.
But I'm not even altar boy yet. I'm just fucking there at the church sitting in the pew. You're the pontiff.
Yeah, wow. That's yeah, interesting. It uses the a 28-255 movement. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. There you go. I never really explored into that. There you go. Look at that.
How about this, Mikey? Next time someone asks you, what have you learned on the Archie Luxury Show? This is what you say. Blow them away with an awesome answer, yeah? Just write it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I actually, I mean, excuse me. That was my first guess to the answer to this question, was that they all used the same movement, because I knew that the Nautilus uses a Calatrava movement, and it's smaller than the case, and so I just kind of went to guessing that the other two ran the same movement.
Tanzil, $5. Archie, we have now promoted Mikey from Altar Boy to Cardinal for defeating you in this trivia challenge.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much there, Tanzil.
Do I get one of those pointy velvet hats or something?
Interesting stuff. Very interesting.
Ouch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've thrown him off balance now. Look, he doesn't know what to do out there. He's stuck. There's numbers flying around inside his head. What happened? You broke him.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it there.
All right, Archie, I got a question for you. What would be if you've got 20 grand US to spend and you want to get a nice... Hang on. Listen to it all first. Hang on. And you want a nice 3-piece meal deal hunger buster, and you can only have one watch per brand. Go.
Oh, 3-piece meal hunger buster. So you'd want...
Just wait. We have a paying customer here. Just save that. We'll get back to that.
Question for the panel. How should Rolex revamp the Cellini line?
I can answer that one. Hang on. Let me just bring it up. Let me pull it up, Arch. So, talk amongst yourselves. Go on.
I got to tell you that 222 is expensive. That's there was one actually that came up for sale in Australia. It's proving to be soft. I was talking to my dealer contact. Over 50,000 in Australia seems to be frozen. Everything over 50,000 Australian dollars. What's that about? 37 US. Frozen. It's frozen.
This is what I think they should be doing to revamp the Cellini line. They should be looking at something in their back catalogue. I know they did that with this particular one, but something.
I don't think they took it far enough. It didn't look like the Prince. You know what I mean? It didn't look. I mean, I could see how it was inspired, but it didn't look the same.
I personally think what they should do one of two things. They should go much deeper into one of their heritage designs, and I think they should grab an original heritage design, put it into modern sizing, and just remake it.
Yeah.
As a limited piece. And I know Rolex doesn't do limited pieces, but I mean, they don't have to number them, but just make a certain amount of them.
Bring back the old Prince.
We don't want to do an Omega Speedmaster limited. You know, everything's fucking limited, million limited. But that's my opinion. Let's go around the panel. So, Professore first. What do you think that they should do to revamp the Cellini line? And you're a Rolex man.
Do they have to revamp it? I mean, it's pretty dead.
Okay.
Oh,
and I
they do.
You know, I think they're trying, but they're not trying enough. And I think this is not a strength, and they have to recognize that this is not their strong point.
Yeah.
If they move it into something else, it begins to look like a Jaeger. It begins to look like a Cartier. It's already a beaten territory for them. So, I mean, this is a completely dysfunctional watch. This is the most, along with the Yachtmaster 2, which is the most useless dysfunctional watch.
I agree completely.
This is for blind people, because unless you have eagle eyes, you cannot see the time on this watch. So they really have to reconfigure the entire dial and make it bigger, because all their other watches have gone bigger. It's women's size watch, if there is such a thing, which for Rolex, it doesn't exist anymore. So this is
remember,
really...
Professor, you were the man that not long ago also said that you look at your watch and then don't even know what time it is. So do you really have to know what time it is when you look at it?
Of course, but it needs to have a certain presence. Otherwise,
I agree. I was just having a bit of
What do you think about just bringing back the Prince, maybe a little bit bigger, but just the Prince in its old glory?
You know, this one looks like a Boucheron. I mean, and the Boucheron is actually a functional watch. You can take it off. You can put different straps.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful piece.
You know what, Professor? What about the Midas? What about if we brought back the Midas?
I love the Midas.
We got another super chat. Scott Calvin, $10 panel. Looking for a watch for my mother's 65th birthday. Keep in mind, this is her first and likely only luxury watch. How terminal would a WSTA 0065 be at retail? What would you recommend? So this here, Cartier, you know what? I actually got one of these for my wife last year, which unfortunately was also in the burglary. Believe it or not, I actually tried to buy one secondhand on the Japanese market, and I got my ass handed to me. I'd probably buy it. Look, you know what? Believe it or not, they for a quartz watch, they actually hold reasonable value. I mean, you're going to lose 20, 30%, but you know what? Then it sort of stays there. You're not going to lose a hell of a lot more. So
it's Cartier. So
yeah, Cartier, they used to discount a lot. There was a lot of discounting. Now they've really I think this watch itself is pretty damn good. Now the specs on it, this is an automatic. Is that the same model there? It's an automatic, this one, is it?
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I don't honestly have a problem with it. I think it's fine.
I like the older classic tanks, the smaller gold.
I'll be honest with you. I think it's a beautiful piece.
Yes.
Right. I don't know about retail, all that. That's Archie's domain. He's the pontiff.
Yeah. No, actually, I actually looked into it because I was trying to get one for my wife. Loves the Cartier Tank Francais. Yeah. You know what? Sometimes in life, and I tell you the best thing is, Scott, why don't you take your mother to Cartier to pick it up? That is an amazing experience. That experience is worth $1,000. Go to Cartier to get the watch for her.
Do they roll out the red carpet for you?
Look, Cartier is very friendly. I found them to be. I can't speak for other people or other countries or other states, but if you let them know, look, you're coming in to buy this here, they'll even, they're if you come in the afternoon, they often offer you champagne. It's a really, dress up nicely, go and enjoy the experience, and then go to a nice dinner or lunch, whatever you want to do there.
And
That's my
that's what it's all about, and making memories, right? And that's what the watches are about. We make memories with the watches.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. That's why I think, you start to develop a sentimentality towards things. It's the memories that make it happen. So that's my opinion. But all right,
and that's why you should cherish. If you have one watch, wear it, cherish it, and have memories. Or two watches. You don't need 20 watches.
Yeah. 10 deal, $5. 10 the man.
10 the man, $5.
Tanzil has very challenging questions all the time.
Thoughts on the Chopard LUC Heritage Grand Aesthetics or aesthetic and movement finish.
So this is the watch. This is the watch he's talking about, and I'm going to bring up for you now, side by side, the front and the back.
Take that super chat down so we can see it. Sure. Interestingly enough, we spoke yesterday. Breguet had that Torno shape. Torno shapes can be quite terminal. You know what I mean? They can be quite terminal, and I got to be honest.
Doesn't look that terminal. This one looks okay to me.
So what do we think, guys? Let's.
I actually
like the finishing on this is sexy. Like if you look at the movement, the amount of detail work, you got some nice pelage. We've got the Genève waves. The bordering on this thing as well is done very, very well to perfection. Micro rotor. I think it's great. I think the finishing on this thing is it's up there.
Yeah, I agree.
I got to tell you something. I actually like the design. I like the font. I like the just the way that this watch has been put together. I don't think it's going to hold Chopard in their really high end. Is it's. I mean, look. You'd have to go Patek, but you know what? It's beautiful. This is a beautiful watch. You can't say this is garbage. But
it kind of has battleship gun hands.
It's also not the smartest thing to buy, but Paul Salesius loves the LUC is the top of the line Chopards.
Boss man, this is going to be a labor of love if you buy this, right? This is going to be something that you're going to wear on special occasions only. Beautiful dress piece, and you're not going to get rid of it. That's what this is to me. This is like someone that wants to celebrate a milestone in life. They buy it, they keep it, they make memories. That's to me what this represents. But again,
I got to tell you something. It is a beautiful, just a nice case there. It's beautiful.
So thoughts?
I like it. I'm not going to buy it. I didn't say I'm going to buy it. Professor, what do you think? Tell me what you think, Professor.
I wouldn't buy it. I mean, I would prefer to have Patek actually in this design.
Sounds fair. Mikey, Hunting Cat, we there? No? Okay. I like it. I think it's great. Would I buy it for the money? I'd have to weigh up my options, obviously. I'm sure that there'll be, like Professor saying, a Patek or something, or maybe a VC to that equivalent for that price range that I'll probably go for more. However, it is one of those watches that looks like a celebration of life watch kind of thing in your later years. Great watch. Let's move on. Trading profits.
Trading profit £1.80. Professor, what's the heaviest hitting piece you have had?
I have the watch I have. I mean, it's a black GMT. That's it. I mean, I have a couple of other watches, but they're not important.
Cool. All right, there you go. Direct from Professor's mouth. Here's one for you, Archie. 10 the man. Good luck. Hang on. Before you read it. Pace Figlio e Spirito Santo. Go. That's yours. Go.
Yeah,
bye.
Here we go. Here we go. Pronounce the following. Grand Tolle. Okay, next one here. We've got Poipen Coin de Genève. Aaron Vale.
Do we all get a shot at this?
Jacques.
No.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he's asked me to do it. Jacques Gedros. Francais Henry Benamayas. And Tanzil Ansari. Okay.
Oh, you got that one right. Hey!
You got that one right.
Okay, let's go through for the rest of the panel. Let's have a go.
All right, I'll try to pronounce all of them. Grand Tai, Point Coin, de Genève, or Point Coin.
Move on. Keep going. We're all
Okay.
gonna fuck it up. Don't worry.
Aeronavel, Jacques Drol, Francois Henri Benamias, and Tenzil Ansari.
All right, Professor, you're up. You're doing more laughing than me. You're up. Come on, have a crack at it. You can't screw it up any more than us.
I'm passing.
All right. Grand Toli. Pezzi Merda di Geneva. I don't know. Erenavale, Jacques Dro, Francois Henry Benahima, and Tanzil Asaria.
Benamias.
No idea. He's got us all. He's put us all on the spot. 10. We love you.
Yeah.
That's
Nobody
Why
got it right.
doesn't he join us to pronounce them?
Yes.
Yes, you need to jump on just for 1 minute at least, just to pronounce them properly and put us all the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get us.
Beautiful French pronunciation.
Educate us.
Here we go.
Canadian.
He's here. 10 the man's here to put us to shame. Come on.
Yes, he is.
One second. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sorry, my AirPods are charging. Pronounce the following. I always love how he says Grand Tolly. Grand Taille. Grand Taille.
I got that one right.
Taille.
Oh.
Poisson de Genève. C'est Geneva Seal. Poisson de Genève.
Yes.
Ponçoin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Aeronaval. Aaronvale. Aeronaval. This one. Jacques Dro.
Sounds right.
Jacques Dro. This was a tough one. Francois Henri Benamia, I think it is, but I might have got that wrong.
Better than us.
Archie.
And this
Tenzil
one's
Asaria.
Tenzil Asaria.
Archie, at least the first one it's Grand Taille.
Grand Taille.
Grand.
I got that one.
I love Point Coin. I love how you guys have Point Coin. Poisson de Genève.
Yeah, Ponçoin.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Timely Behavior. Comment ça va?
Behavior.
Timely Behavior. Comment ça va? Ça va bien?
Ça va bien, vous?
Yeah, good. Not bad. That's about all my French goes. That and a couple of swearing, and we don't want that. So.
I just love how Professor's just dying at all the pronunciations. He doesn't want to say anything. He's just laughing too hard. All right, I'll let you guys continue. I got to charge my headphones.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Dan.
Well, there you go. You've heard it right from 10 the man himself. There you go. Freaking hell. Oh, well, there goes that. So, all right, 20 grand US, 3-piece Hunger Buster.
20 grand. I got to tell you, man, 20 grand it's getting. Look, this is 30 Aussie because it would. Okay. So what I would say is this: you'd want to get yourself a no date sub. What's that going to be? 15, 16, 15, 16?
Call it 15. Call it 15.
Aussie, 15 Aussie. Okay. So that's half our money gone.
So, boom.
Okay. Boom. So then what else I would get is I would have to say for this sort of money here, the only pieces I would contemplate would be a Speedy.
Yeah.
Some sort of Speedy. I'd probably, you could go for the Broad Arrow. Sapphire Sandwich pre-owned. And a Tudor GMT Pepsi.
Mikey, go.
Yeah, 20 grand. It'd have to be Submariner. A Reverso. that I think you could squeeze in there, and then maybe something in from Tudor like a Pelagos or a Black Bay or what, you know, original.
Yeah, nice. Professor.
What are we doing now? 20
grand US, 3-piece, one per brand. Go.
More, one per brand.
One per brand. You can't have 3 Rolex. That's just boring. Not that you could, but
Okay. All right. Let's go then. No Date Sub, Pelagos, and Speedmaster.
okay, nice.
Man on Mars.
On the Viking moon. I'm going.
Yeah.
Men on
No
Mars.
Date Sub.
That's
or-
great.
That's the iconic, and I would love one day a No Date Sub. So No Date Sub. I'm going 976 Reverso, and I'm going Omega Globemaster Blue Dial.
Okay.
I want to break the trend because I like that constellation feel and look. Archie, stop watching porn. Mr. GMT told you yesterday. Come on.
I got to tell you something. You know what? Really, you've got to realize with these watches,
Yeah, they're fucking expensive. Trust me.
$20,000 US isn't as much as you'd want there. The problem is, by the time you add a GMT, a sub, and a chronograph, chronographs are not cheap.
No.
You're way over the budget. See, how much should we spend? You know, maybe we said $50,000. Would that make it better?
That's making it easy. I wanted to put you under pressure a little bit.
Yeah. Tell me this.
Yes.
Could we do it for under 10?
Oh, that's just... Oh.
10 US?
Right.
10 US, which is what? That's about
10 US,
13, 14. Okay, so
right.
you couldn't get any Rolex for that. Okay, so you would say,
No.
okay, firstly, your GMT, I'd say the GMT Black Bay or the, you know, the new...
I'm going Pro. Go the
Pro.
Pro. I think that's the better of the two.
Okay. Those are both great watches. So that
Call
gets
it
you your
4.5.
GMT. Okay. Your diver.
Yeah.
Let's go for, say, a Breitling Super. Well, the problem is the Breitling then ties us up to Breitling because we want to use. Can we use a Breitling as our chronograph? You know what I mean?
Navi, that's about 5 as well. I'm talking second-hand Australian prices here.
Yeah.
So we're up to 9.5. Call it 10. Make it even 10.
Well,
Yeah.
the Speedmaster is around 5. You know, secondhand.
You know what I would say would. You know what I would say would be a great. Actually, you know how we did that equation before. The 5-piece collection Archie would be happy with.
Yeah.
Guess what fucking diver I should have chosen was a Pam.
Yeah.
A Pam
What would you
111. A 111. 111. 111.
Let's bring it up.
Because that is also feasible. You know what? I think the Pam as a diver, that is so iconic, isn't it? A Pam as a diver.
I think so.
I just think that their look kind of evolved into that standard Luminor look, you know, without the diver bezel, like this. You know, the divers submersible Pams have that bezel that just doesn't seem to fit as well as the shiny round bezel.
But I think that the 111, it's the iconic look. I
Is
love
this it
having
here?
the small seconds at the 9. I love the movement. If you have a look, it's one of the better dressed movements that Panerai has.
JJ, welcome to the house. How are you?
Hello, guys. Hello, Arch.
There he is.
Hello,
Hey,
Is this the
Congratulations on
111
yesterday, JJ.
Hunting cat. What?
Hey,
Congratulations
JJ.
on yesterday.
I can't hear you both. He's both saying it at the same time.
Go on, Mike.
Congratulations on yesterday, your
Oh.
100th show.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
yes,
it.
very much so. Is this the 111 pictured?
Yeah, this is a Pam 111.
Okay, then I'm all for it. I love it. Done deal.
Professor, did you ever go down Pam rabbit hole?
No, they can keep them.
Okay.
The minute I heard that the Egyptian Navy was using these watches,
He's out.
Oh.
I
Political
decided
reasons, he's out.
that they can keep them.
Ooh,
So
okay.
for me, I
See,
love
that's a
the
political
semi-style.
statement. We got an activist here. Quick, Timely, we got an activist here.
Look, I love the sandwich style on it. I love the way they dress the movement. It's just, to me, quintessential Panerai. Small seconds at the 9. Love it.
Yeah.
And yet the 111 is probably the most fake Panerai of them all. 100%.
Ah,
Probably is. It's one of the more popular of them, I guess, in that
I
price point.
know.
So
I
just
know.
make sure that what you're getting is legit. There are ways to check what they are. Don't know, but there are ways. I recommend, if you're going to buy secondhand, meeting at a watchmaker that you trust, and have them check the watch over as well before you pull the trigger, if you're not sure.
Tell me this. What they were saying before, that you should have a receipt from the Panerai store.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
Look, can't hurt. I mean, it'd be great if you could find one like that and the price point with that. I don't think it's an issue.
They also come in a really beautiful blonde wood box, generally.
JJ, what do you think? How would you go about buying a PAM? You'd probably say I wouldn't.
Right now, I like the smaller stuff they're putting out. The Quaranta line, I think, is really cool.
Yeah.
1272. I would stick with the original black dial. I really like the submersible 683. That's another favorite of mine. That's 42 mil.
I'm just bringing them up, JJ, so I'm good looking at me.
What's that? You said wait a second so you can pull it up? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no
you
problem.
got.
I'm starting
This
to
is
rattle off. Yeah.
No, you're right. The 1272. So just bringing it up now. So if you have a look, the 1272. It's got the blue hand for the small seconds. What dial would you go for? A black?
Yeah, I'll go for the black dial.
Because I got the trio there as well. White seems poison with Panerai for some reason. Is there anyone in chat that has a white dial, Pam? Tell us why you prefer the white dial.
You know what's more poisonous than a white dial Pam is a white dial Pam without papers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then let's pull this one up. This is the 683.
JJ, were you a Pam man ever?
Yeah, I had a 111. I was a Panerai guy. I actually sold that and bought an Explorer 2 Polar.
Okay.
Of course, the right thing to do.
That was when you could get a Polar for like $5,000. I think I paid. I think I paid 5,200.
I had a PAM 44 millimeter 8 days hand wind that I loved.
You know how ridiculous it is there? The PAM 764 can't be faked. What's the 764?
I'll bring it up.
I got to tell you, I remember there was a comment on the Rolex forum about a guy who's traded in his Rolex Sea Dweller to get a PAM 24. That's the submersible I had. And he had to put money in. Can you believe that?
So that's the 764.
Why is that not easy to be faked? I don't get it.
Flyback chronograph.
Why?
There's a lot going on there, you know.
Yeah.
I don't like chronographs on a dive watch. I've never really, because you're breaking the integrity of the case. The more holes you have on a case, the more water points you've got to contend with. And I must say, Anthony, I'm not really a fan of that PAM.
I also like the GMT with that honeycomb is really nice. The 1535, I believe it is. Those are my 3 favorites.
Yeah, got you.
Have a look.
PAM has a number of models that I would have no problem wearing.
Yeah.
What do we think of this?
Love it.
Oh,
I think it's got a bit of faux patina look to it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is, it's the GMT function. Is that easy to read on this watch?
I don't think
Like-
so.
It looks easy
Not
enough.
really.
It's got
Like,
an arrow.
can you read 24-hour time? Have you ever?
Sure.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Just add.
You
Yeah,
might-
well,
can,
Arch.
but
I just sort of minus 2 hours off, and like, so for example, if it's 13, it's 1. You know what I mean? 3 minus 2 is 1.
yeah,
I sort of work
know.
out that way, and then when you hit the 20s, it's like 10, 12. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, or you just add 12.
Yeah.
4 o'clock is 1600. 5 o'clock is 1700.
That's interesting.
Oy.
thing. I could say I learned that today too.
Yeah.
We're gonna quiz you tomorrow, Mikey. We're gonna quiz you.
You're the best, Mikey. You better write this shit down, Mike, because tomorrow you're gonna get some questions.
I didn't know that. That's a nice little. What do they call those things that you use to remember, like little poems and things that you use to remember things? Anagrams or.
All right, Mike. We're gonna give you a test. What time is 1835?
1835 would be 6:35.
There you go.
Hey!
Knew he could do it. I knew it.
Very
My
good.
father's in the military, so.
He's got the inside information, see?
He
Can't
flew
beat it.
F-104s and F-4s in the Air Force.
Arch, this is my second show today. I was on with 10 before. I'm on now. What are we doing? Are we
Oh
having
my
a late
God,
show
man,
or
you
what?
are fantastic. You're a fantastic guy, hey? Oh, Professor, I have to go. You got to go, Professor. No worries, man. It's late in England. Thank you for joining us. That was a very nice chat we had there. It was great to have him on. Great
Bye,
to have
Professor.
him on. Yeah.
I very much enjoy the professor.
We gotta
Yeah,
get
he's
we gotta get Marianne and Ginger on, Arch. You gotta get a couple of a couple people.
Exactly.
We could get
Extras.
2 girls on, we'd be in business,
100%.
3,
100%.
4, 5, 6. Version 3. Okay, version 3. I get this part right.
Haha.
JJ, I'm just putting this up here to kind of wet your whistle a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, this is the ultra thin. This is good stuff.
Oh.
What do you reckon?
I mean, what's there to say? It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I love this.
Every time you come on now, I'm going to throw one of these at you, one of these overseas in gold, just to see if we can nudge that along a little bit. What do you reckon?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't. The problem is when the things go bad, the gold is the first to get crushed and the last to recover. So,
Yeah.
It's tough to trade. Look, you still got to buy what you love at the end of the day, but it's tough to trade out of a steel piece for the same version in gold when those possibilities are are around.
Still, though, the steel, straight, regular three-hand, blue three-hander version 3 in steel is basically my intermediate grail.
You know what I can't find anymore? The Apollo 11 50th anniversary, the gold Speedy with the burgundy bezel. You don't see those come up very often anymore. And when you do, they're big money still, very big.
Yeah, you're talking about the reissue or the original, or both?
The reissue with the what was the gold? I forgot what the type of gold they call it. The moonshine gold, right?
Yeah.
When like the watches first started.
Would you buy one?
For a good price, I would. But like when the watches first started tanking, I saw 2 or 3 of these pop up for like in the 40s.
Yeah,
and that's gone. Now you can't. I don't see anything under like 60,000 now, which is not. I don't think it's. I wouldn't pay that.
JJ, before I came on the show, I was talking to my dealer contact. He said in Australia, this is in Sydney, everything over 50,000 is kind of frozen. It's really fucking hard to shift. What's is America? Any comments on America secondary market?
I think it's been picking up a little bit lately.
Okay.
Not like huge, but I see watches are selling, but yeah, I think you see some of the bigger models kind of sitting. Yeah.
Yeah, this gold Speedy with the burgundy bezel is just off the hook. I love it.
It is.
Sexy.
It is. It's very beautiful. Would this be a super grail like to have? Is this a grail?
That's the problem. Is it a grail having a Speedy? Like they make a bunch of gold ones that you could get for like in the 20s. Like why would you spend 60 for this one just for a burgundy bezel? I mean, to me, it's definitely the most special one and the one I like best. It's probably the only one I'm buying in precious metal, but not for double.
It's a tough question.
You can pick up that one with the green dial now, or like you could pick up those ones on like the fake Oyster Flex. I mean, you could get those like in the 20s. So
yeah, well then they have the others like the Ed White and the Snoopy and the
basically this would be the same price as
Apollo 13 or Apollo 11 one. That are all way up there price wise.
Yeah, but those are steel. I'm talking about in the precious metal.
In metal, yeah, gold.
This is the only one that's like double the the only current one.
But
like
JJ, sorry, you go time.
Well, let me just make one point real quick. Like, would you rather have this or would you rather have that blue dial VC I showed you guys the other day? They're basically the same price now. You know what I mean?
I was going to say $59.60, JJ. What do you think?
You know what, Arch? I was looking at old like B-roll that I shot of that by the water and stuff.
Yeah.
What a nice watch, man. I don't know why. I just must have been bored and went for the 5172. But what a nice watch. That was a really nice piece.
Yes. It was really nice.
I mean, you can still pick those up at a good price. I think high 40s, That watch just nobody really loved. I don't know. The 5172 was so much cooler, though. Manual line, chronograph. That movement was crazy. It was just such a nice watch.
Yeah. Yeah, you're very lucky to have enjoyed some of these amazing things, JJ.
Yeah, I got in and out at the right times of them, too. Like, I didn't get too hurt. I got to enjoy two really.
JJ.
Is that the steel version there, right? Is that the steel version? Blue 300? That's my grill. That's my baby.
They've actually, Mikey, they've come back. That these used to be way over. They used to be crazy price, JJ. How are you finding that in America? These have come back. They're not hugely over retail, are they?
No. I mean, you were seeing these. They're getting a little more difficult, I would say. Not too much, like as they were a couple months ago. They were, like people were dying to get out of them. Now that kind of slowed down a little bit. But
are they boutique only still?
Yeah, these were going. I mean, I don't know if they were selling, but I saw these listed at the high point, like the highest, like 60,000. They weren't selling at that price. I'm sure they were probably selling in the 50s though, like maybe 55 or so, maybe even lower. But now, I mean, at one point you could pick this up for like 28. Now I don't think you get one under 30 anymore, but still pretty good. 31, 32, 33, somewhere in that range. Retail's 22.5. By the time you pay tax and leave the store, you're at 25,000 US.
Right now, Hunting Cat needs a bib from all the drool.
Yeah, no, I'm drooling. That's why my camera's off.
Anthony said you could probably get one.
Slobbering all over my shirt.
Anthony says you could probably get one at the AD. Anthony Napoli. No shot. There's a 5-year wait list. I don't know. Why don't you go try if you can? Good luck. There's no shot getting one. Go walk in and ask for one.
As soon as I get 22.5, I'll be heading straight there.
Well, if you like it that much, why don't you flip the James Cameron and
the Speedy? Yeah, no, I've definitely. Believe me, I've thought about it. But then I always kind of fall back on the Rolex thing, and I already own the Rolexes, so it's kind of like
just a thought.
I'm going to send you a photo.
The Vacheron will be a future buy. It'll be a future buy when I'm doing well, which I will.
JJ, you got 20 grand US. You got 20 grand US. 3 pieces, 1 piece per brand. What's your picks?
For 20,000, I have to get 3 pieces.
Yeah. Make it a bit hard.
Do I have no watches, or are you talking about just adding to my collection?
You're just buying 3 pieces. Well, for the average punter who doesn't have anything great yet.
I'd buy a Panerai, probably the Coranto. You could get those like $5 grand on the secondary right now.
Yeah.
That would be my diver. I'd get a speedy.
Yeah.
For about 6, right? You get on about 6,000, 3861. Especially if they change the movements on those, and like with that new technology they have.
Yep.
I would grab, so that would be my chrono.
9 left.
9,000 left. I would. Oh man, I really want to get a Rolex GMT. I'd probably try to find like an older. I don't know. Do you think I could squeeze one out for 9,000?
Maybe. I think maybe not.
Well, if I can't, I would buy.
Well, like Explorer 2 or something.
I would buy an Explorer 2 Polar.
Omega 300 Heritage.
Could I get one of those for 9? No, probably not.
Yeah, probably. Well, around, look, they go for about 12, 13 Australian, I think, secondhand at the moment. So you could probably squeeze
I make a deal with the buyer, right? I said, look, I'm taking 3 watches. Hook it up. 20,000 is what we got. I need these 3.
All right, let's bring up.
Look at this. Now, did you take that photo? Where did you get this photo from?
No, I didn't take it. One of the guys in my WhatsApp group posted it. I think it's from Monochrome.
It's a very, very cool photo.
How good does that watch look there, right? It's crazy.
Actually, I'm just gonna let me see if I can
Is it from Monochrome or Houdinki? It's from one of those places.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see if I can flip it a bit more so we can. Okay, we concentrate more on the watch than he's. Holy shit! There it is. Fucking beautiful. Beautiful. They also did the Speedmaster with the black dial in the rose gold. You know that, don't you? You know the Speedmaster?
Say it one more time, Arch. I'm sorry. I was just checking.
They did a Speedmaster with a black dial. It's not the Apollo 11, but they did a solid.
Yep, I saw it. I actually tried it out the other day.
They're expensive as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're very nice, but I mean, this is the one. This is no one just you see the one. This is the one. This is the special one. If I could capture this in the low 40s, Arch, I grab it.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Yeah,
this is like one of those you got to put your feelers out to like every dealer, and say, hey, if you could get it to me for like 43, 44, call me. Box paper.
Beautiful watch.
Yeah,
You never know. You never know. You never.
Someone might be desperate.
Timely's just pulled this one up here. Yeah,
this is the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, my friend has this one actually.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's amazing. It's got a real heft to it. You know what I mean? It's
a big boy at 42 also.
Yeah. No. It is. Beautiful watch. Absolutely.
Out of these two,
beautiful.
What would you guys go? Let's go around the panel. Archie?
I have to go Apollo 11. Shit.
Yeah, it's not even close.
It's sorry, JJ. Yeah, you're right.
Even like the indices are special on them, and they're not like the typical like batons. They got those little onyx squares in them. There's so many special details, and look at the movement on it too. I mean, if I was going to get the newer ones though, I would get the green one. Did you see the green one instead of the black one like this? Because those are both available. So like that's a fair comparison. I would pick.
Yeah, good point.
The other one's not really fair comparison. That's like saying, would you take a 321 or an 1861? You know what I mean? It's not a fair real comparison. Not really. But,
just grabbing a picture of that green one so we can have a look. That's I like that. The green's nice. I'll share in a sec as I get a picture of it.
Yeah, while you pull that up, I'll just say if I was going to get one of those two, I would get the green.
It's the one in the middle.
Yeah, actually, I really like the one with the champagne face as well.
The left, yeah.
I think I'd probably get that one over all of them. But the green one is kind of nice too in person. Those two are really nice. The left and the middle. What do you think, Arch? Which one would you take out of those?
I tend to agree with you. The green is so unique. Mind you, the one on the left, I kind of like that kind of panderish Paul Newman type. The black eyes. It's kind of cool. And we got Mr. Sexy. Mr. Sexy's just joined us.
What is happening, boys?
Hey.
If you tried to get out of this, Arch, it's toxic, man. Toxic.
Yeah.
You lose 10,000.
Yeah.
US. Right up there.
Of course. And you know the funny thing is, Omega Boutiques, a friend of mine, he's got 2 solid gold Speedmasters. They won't fucking discount. The most discount he will get is 5%. Man, it's just...
Gentlemen, just quickly to welcome our guest, I think it's time for a commercial break.
Come in, get it! Come in, get it! Come in, get it! You won't regret it in 2023 at Tip Top Snack Bar! Whoppa!
That's the commission I have to pay to have him on the show. I've got to run.
Have you ever had anyone, Mr. GMT, who says, "I saw the ad on"? No.
No one.
Me just me.
At the market.
I've seen this on the show.
At the market.
Hey, wait a minute. You had Timely. You had Tony Nico come. Don't say nobody came from the commercial.
Yeah, but I didn't make any money from that. That cost me money.
Well, they still came from the commercial.
Yeah, of course I did.
No worries.
That wasn't from the advertisement. Tony Nico didn't even know about the advertisement at the time.
Come on, just play along. Just play along, GMT. We're trying to make
just say yes,
Yeah, no worries, boys. Yes, it was. That was it. That's exactly what happened.
Unbelievable.
I tell you what,
which of these 3 would you pick, Malakia?
I can't see shit at the moment. I'm driving. You want me to kill myself?
No, that's fine. I understand.
I just came on to say hello and, cheer you guys up because you sounded like you're falling asleep. So,
man, we always love you on the show, Mr. Sexy. We love you on the show.
I love coming on. I love seeing you guys being happy. I don't like seeing you guys falling asleep behind the wheel. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, that green is so gorgeous. Look at that. What movement are these using here on these watches?
I think they're using the 3861. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Scroll down. It should say it in the article, no?
Scroll down.
Let's take a look. Hang on. I really like this one, which I think this is the one. The green is really cool too, though. But...
Oh, this one here, I can see it now. It's big.
Oh, now you can see. Now you can see. Oh, okay.
Hang on, wait a minute. This is the new one, isn't it? The one that just got released not long ago. Isn't it right? Am I wrong?
Exactly.
Came out a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's the one. That's the one I like. I love that one.
3861. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There is it.
That's the one that came out not long ago.
AJ's on.
I just jumped on and I already knew what was going on. Figure that shit out.
You couldn't even see it before, eh?
I couldn't before, but now I could when you fucking enlarge it the size of my head.
Well, we have to do this. You see, you didn't go for your eye test.
That's true. I didn't, and you helped me organize to go, and I didn't even go.
I go to Darwin. I go to Darwin.
You know why I didn't go?
The guy's telling me, he's looking at his watch, his president, and he's having a look closely at it. Can't see the bloody thing. I said, we're right here at the shops. The eye test is right here. Make a booking. He makes a booking, doesn't go. You know why? Because he came on your show. His eyes weren't as important as coming on the Archie Luxury program.
Wow.
And doing his collection review.
That's the day I did my collection review. I had a same day appointment, and I missed my appointment because we're too busy talking about my collection.
It's been a month since you could have rebooked.
I could have, but you know what I'm like, man. I'm shocking.
And blind.
And blind. No, not blind, man. It's just close up.
Come on,
That's all.
Yeah, that happens to all of us. How old are you now, Mr. GMT?
48.
Oh,
I'm not 48 yet.
You need glasses.
In June, I'll be 48. I need glasses. All right.
Saying in about 10 years I'm going to be blind.
Yeah, you're going to be fucked.
It all happens to everyone. Yeah. But that's
Some
okay,
sooner than
man.
others. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all right. When did you start wearing glasses?
I first got in my 40s, mid. You can deny it for a while, then.
That's when your eyes start to go, right?
Yeah, it's a bit downhill, but that's okay. You get glasses. It's all.
I'll make him look good. Don't worry about that.
Oh, you look very cool in it. You'll be very cool.
I think JJ wears glasses too. Do you wear glasses, JJ?
I have a very light one just for reading. I made it all the way to 44 before I had to cash in on those, actually. But that's about it.
I've done all right then. I've done all right. I'm 48.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never use them, though. I always forget because I only had them a couple months now. But if I have to read a lot of paperwork, then I'll put them on.
When your eyes get tired, that's when it really hits you.
Like if I'm reading a computer screen, I'm fine. But if I'm reading a lot of like paperwork, then I'll put it on.
Yeah. What was I going to ask? I forgot now. Don't worry about it. Oh, were they the ones that you wore when you dressed up as Archie?
Yeah, I think so. All right,
because we're deaf. Just to answer this question, we're deaf half the time because we're yelling at each other.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly it. Exactly.
You're gonna insult the panel. You have to super chat it. You know.
Yes, that's correct. Exactly. I got to tell you, Mr. GMT, he asked me. You asked me what you were saying to me. You're looking at selling some of your watches off, Mr. GMT. Tell me the story.
No. I'm not selling anything off now.
All right, did I show you the picture when I dressed like you for Halloween? Oh, do you remember that? Oh no. And somebody thought I was the
that
time
was funny.
teller. I did it on a stream, on a Halloween stream. Somebody thought I was trying to be the time teller. You know that guy, the time teller, Joey?
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. I like that guy.
Hey, just quickly, while we got Mr. GMT here, I know he hasn't seen it. Can we bring up a picture of Jonathan's world time? So I want to show him. I know he hasn't seen it.
Fuck the world time. I'm over that shit.
I sent it to you.
Don't show me that. I've seen it like a million times.
Oh, that looks great. You look great in that picture, JJ. What are you talking about?
That was when I did the Halloween stream. I dressed up as you for Halloween.
Oh, you got more hair than me, but JJ.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to.
All right.
Show you
it's Archie, the early years.
Yes, this is quite a fascinating photo. Can I share that, JJ?
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, this was actually he's dressed
I did
up.
I did a whole stream like that.
Actually,
the whole stream was done like that. It's so funny.
Look at this.
Boom.
That's the same shirt. You know the shirt that I had, the college shirt. Fuck. The orange headphones. Man.
And doing the hand, doing the finger with the hand, you know.
Yeah, man.
Just quickly, JJ, with this picture, you don't make time. You just tell it, right?
Yeah. The time is now 5:03. Let's get down to business, right? Isn't that what he says?
I might use that as my picture for tomorrow's stream, if you don't mind, JJ.
Oh man, now you're pushing it, Arch. I actually took this pic. I sent this picture to Bear when I first did it.
Yeah.
I was like, "Do you think Archie would get mad if I dressed as him for Halloween?" He said, "No, I think he'd think it's hysterical. Definitely do it."
Yeah, it is exactly.
The orange headphones were a nice touch too, on point.
You know, that's copying someone is a form of flattery. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know, I bought those headphones for like $10 on Amazon, and then after the show, I was like, "What am I going to do with these things? I'm sending them back." So I clicked the button to return them. And you know, you ever do that on Amazon? They just give you your money back and say keep them. They don't even want them back. So I still have them.
Oh, there you go. You need headphones again, Archie. Amazon and just click return, get your money back.
Exactly. Yes. It's interesting stuff there, guys. Interesting.
I should have shaved the beard. What do you think? You know, it's funny. I'm wearing the shirt in this picture, and Arch is wearing a black T-shirt like I would. We're like reverse roles.
Maybe Archie should dress up like JJ. That would be hilarious.
Hey, you know how we were talking about that Piaget perpetual calendar in steel? Can I show you something I've just found?
See, look, same. Look.
Let me show you something I just found here, and this just shows you how ridiculous the Piaget at 60,000 fucking euros. Look at this. Okay, so this is not a perpetual; it's a triple date. But so what? $7,000, and it's solid gold. Look at this, guys.
Ooh.
Now, all I'm trying to tell you is that just shows you how ridiculous that Piaget Polo is at 60,000 euros. It's okay. Now, it's not. This is a triple date, but I don't think that really.
Can you show the Piaget Polo again? I didn't even see it yet.
Hang on, I've got it here. Hang on, I'll bring it up. Pull it up, Tommy. Pull it up.
Pull it up. I don't know if I would buy this from an Italian dealer, Arch. You can't trust those guys.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
They send you Frankenstein watches.
Ragazzi Italiani, I wouldn't trust them. Run.
Fair point. Fair point. I understand.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't know.
How about a dealer in Poland? Would you trust a dealer in Poland?
I don't know. I really honestly don't buy any expensive watch international.
No. 100%. You're right. 100% right. It's
what do you think, JJ?
What do you think, JJ? 60,000 euros.
Yeah,
they're out of their fucking mind.
This is not even on my radar, to be honest. I have zero interest.
You want to get rid of your blue dial overseas for this? Come on, 100%.
For straight up trade? No, probably not.
Relax there.
It's not bad. It's not a bad watch. I just don't. I don't know. It's not really for me.
Just not for what they want.
It's a bit big. I don't particularly love the layout. It's kind of. I'm sure there's someone out there said they designed this first somewhere or something like that, but it kind of reminds me of a mixture of the Nautilus and.
I think the further I'm going with the photos, the less there is of this watch. They're pulling it apart. So what do you reckon? What are you doing here?
It's not on his radar. He's not interested. And this is the one punter we have who I thought would have said, hey, the green's cool. See, we got him trapped. We started talking about the Speedmaster green. And I thought, right, let's just slide this in and see what he says.
I personally think
you like this one?
Is going to be in now.
60,000 fucking euros. 60. As we said before, wouldn't you get a JLC in steel for that? You know, for a fraction of the price with a better name.
So you know what who's that? Hunting Cat? Is that going? Or was that GMP?
That was Mr. Jim. He dropped out because he's driving, and they get a bit funny in Australia with these cell phones. JJ,
you know what watch I'm looking at, Arch? That's going to get discontinued.
What's that?
The 7234. You know that Frankenstein-looking pilot watch GMT watch?
Yeah.
I hear that's on the list to go.
What color would you go, JJ?
Probably the white gold, the G. I would go. And I also heard the 5905, the chronograph.
Yes, perpetual calendar chronograph.
Yeah, I heard that's going too.
Sorry. Annual calendar chronograph. It's like a 5960, isn't it? It's like a 59. But
it's also like a chronograph version of the 5205.
Yeah.
I heard that's going.
Holy shit, JJ. Has crypto picked up for yourself there?
It's up 35% in the last month, so pretty good. Okay. I mean, you were picking it up in the 16s. I mean, I started buying again from 18 all the way down.
Would you ever abandon crypto and say, fuck this shit is just nasty?
No, but I would fluctuate how much I have. Like, if it ever makes a big run back up into the 60s, I would dump a fair amount of it.
So this is 43, near enough's good enough, 43,000 euros. So what's that, about 50 something US? 50 US?
This on the, I'm not sure, but this is supposedly on the chopping block this year. Fucking
hell.
So if you want one out there, get it now. I mean, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but.
Yeah. I kind of, fuck, expensive stuff, man. Expensive stuff. expensive hobbies to get there. You always had good class there, JJ. And this would be a keeper or just a short-term thing?
This would probably be a short. I don't really love this one. It's got too many things sticking out of it. Like I don't even like the Seamaster because it has that little dimple thing. You know, it's like I don't know. I like a smooth watch. There's too much. It reminds me of steampunk. You know what steampunk is? Like I'm not a steampunk person.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a little
steampunk. Yeah, I love that steampunk theme.
Yeah, you like that.
Well,
if you do, this is a good watch to get, Arch. Would you ever consider this like a more like rugged version of Patek?
Hey, you know what? You know what? A grenade has gone off on my collection before, right? Anything's possible, JJ. Anything is possible.
There's a nice man size too. A nice man size, yeah. You know, fit your wrist.
It's something you could just enjoy. You know what I mean? Just have it and enjoy it, and don't give a fuck.
Especially like the way you dress with like just like a button up and shorts. I think this is like a perfect watch for you to rotate with the bluesy. I wonder what these go for. What are these going for? Could we take a look kindly? Oh, you got something else.
Which one?
The one we just had up. The
Patek. That's I went through it. Hang on. It's what was it? 43.2 euro.
Oh, that's MSRP?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think it's second hand. Let's have a look. Okay. I'll grab it on another screen.
It's the gold one is 51.
Yeah.
51,450 in the US. For the R. When I went to the Patek dealer just to like look around, I wanted to register interest on an Aquanaut, and they were trying to push this one hard.
And then on Chrono secondhand, they're roughly between like 35 and 44, around that point.
Yeah, so I don't think they're going to be a big bump if they get discontinued. They don't seem very popular.
So what do we think of this as an alternative to the Patek?
Oh, I love this watch. My favorite is the boutique edition, the white dial. I love that one. But the black dial is very nice too.
Let's have a look at the black one. Just in silver or the gold?
What do you mean? For this one, with the black dial?
Yeah.
I go white gold.
White gold?
Yeah, I like that combination. I don't really like yellow gold or rose gold with the black dial. I don't like it.
What about?
I always like white gold with black dial.
When the picture wants to load. What about salmon?
Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. Is that chocolate subdials?
Yeah.
It's interesting. See, when I get a salmon dial, I like rose gold. So, but this is very nice as well.
What's Archie doing?
It's a good question. It looks like he has a phone call.
Jeez, look at how hammered that chair got. Maybe we should get him to bust that chair on camera. See how much super chats we can get.
All right, I gotta start removing some people here.
It's been done before.
Hey, Kelswood says these are in the boutique windows now. Yeah, of course. I mean, they're trading 20,000 under retail, so yeah.
Anything you want brought up, JJ? Anything you want me to bring up at the moment? Anything else you're looking at? You're sort of in between. You know, I might get this, might get that.
No, I got my name on a few lists. I'm very very happy where I am now. So I just look at all that paint on the chair. I just realized that. Yeah, I'm not really pushing anything. If something great comes my way at a good price, then I'm in. If not, I have enough to hold me over for now. I'm just kind of chilling.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
I actually got to head out. When Archie comes back, I'm going to head out.
Yeah, no problems.
I was supposed to leave at 8, but I'll wait a few. I don't want to leave you all alone. I know Hunting Cat is not here right now.
Yeah, he's gone a little bit MIA at the moment, but he's getting a nice little list together of all the things that he's been learning. So I think we need to super chat maybe tomorrow or something and ask him, name me 2 things that you've learned on the show.
That's a good one. So he don't look like he's coming back anytime soon.
Doesn't look like it, does it?
Yeah. Well, either way, I got to run. I can't wait that long.
No, you're right. All good.
I hate to leave you hanging. Hunting Cat, where are you?
Nah, he's gone.
We need
no
the drama. Guys, does anyone have any questions they want answered for free? Speak now before Arch comes back.
Yeah, and then it's going to cost cash.
Pavel says, how many of these woven shirts does he have? I think 1. Pretty sure.
Well, to be honest, I'm kind of hoping a little bit more than 1.
Well, I'm hoping too, but
I'm hoping too. We see it often enough where, we just want to make sure they're in a rotation. They're getting the wash that they deserve. Yeah. Is it a top or a T-shirt? Wow, that's cool.
He brings them in the shower with him. It's like a one-stop shop.
Yeah. Get it all done in one hit, right? There you go.
I don't answer Cyrus. He just trolls the chat all day. It's like I can't take him serious. So.
Yeah.
If he comes on and shows his face and talks about what he does, then I'll have a
fair enough, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't talk to nosy avatars who just troll the chat all day.
Yeah, 100%. There was a bit of a write-up I saw not too long ago. So I was looking at.
I'm about to head out, Timely. If you're going to start segueing into a whole new thing, I can't do it. Not to cut you off.
You're right. All good. No drama.
I actually was just about to say I'm going to head out, but if you want to address the audience with that question, go right ahead. Sure. Hopefully, Arch comes back soon.
It is his show, right?
Yeah, just tell him I had to cut out. I was supposed to leave 7 minutes ago. I got to cut out. Have a good show. Thanks for having me on, and I'll catch you later. Bye.
Thanks. See you, JJ. Always a pleasure. Always come back. You're always welcome. So anyway, what the hell? Archie doesn't show. Yeah, I think he got an important phone call, and he's sort of jumped off for a second just to go and deal with that. However long he's going to be off, no idea. So one of the things that I thought I'd just bring up as well was a topic I was looking at not too long ago. It was watches of espionage, and it was more like real day spies and what kind of pieces they wear. And it came from, there was an Instagram poster there, and it is literally watches of espionage. And there's a whole bunch of photos there with backstories, and it's pretty cool. So I thought I'd bring it up. And I mean, this is the guy's site. So he's got the newsletter and all that kind of stuff, and he goes into a bit of history and about each one. James Bond should wear a Rolex, all that kind of stuff. Pretty interesting stuff to read. I'm going to try and bring up a Hodinkee one, which is give me a second. Probably. So go to this article. So a gift from Kingsborn CIA case officer's love of timepieces. And it just goes into a little bit of detail around this watch. One of the other things that they have on an article as well, which I thought was pretty cool, is they're interviewing a CIA case officer, which is like a field officer, I guess, or an agent, and just on what they go on about in regards to the kind of watches that they use out in the field. And it just comes down to, I think, the watches that they use out in the field aren't that dissimilar from some of the ones in the movies. And like James Bond, obviously, the guy wears a Rolex Submariner or a Seamaster, depending on which iteration of Bond that you go to. And they wear them for a few reasons. One, they're rugged, they're tough as nails, bulletproof, accurate, but also they're used as a bit of a bargaining tool. Whenever they need to, get through a particular place that they just can't. They can use it as payment if they need any kind of gear and so forth. It's pretty cool. So I recommend having a bit of a look of that. Any questions from anyone in the chat at the moment? Yeah, true, 100%. B. Lucas, funny guy. Yeah, so any questions about anything in regards to these watches or whatever? I should just shut it down. No, we're not going to do that. That's just not fair. Hey, how we doing?
What's up, boys?
What's happening? So we got Archie's on a phone call off camera. Hunting Cat has gone into hibernation, and I'm here just trying to keep things rolling along. What's happening?
I see the Bond. I see that James Bond. You know,
yeah.
James Bond has some cool watches, right?
Yeah, man. The history of Bond, his watches, he's had a whole bunch of cool stuff. First iteration of Submariner all the way through to the modern day No Time to Die. So he's had a whole lot of in-betweeners. We've had Gruen, we've had Rolex, we've had Breitling, Tissot, Seiko, Hoya or Tag Hoya, depending on who you are, and Omega. I think I got them all.
Yeah, I absolutely love all the James Bond watches. I think that pretty much all of them are pretty nice, with the exception of a couple. I'm not a big fan of like the latest ones because I'm not a huge fan of mesh bracelets or the titanium. And then the other one that I'm not really a huge fan of is the Planet Ocean. I really like it. I just find it really chunky. But then all the other Bond watches, I think they're just a freaking home run.
This to me was the cream of the crop. But you know, at the end of the day, I guess it's just a bit of a bias thing. My first memory of James Bond and cool watches was when I was a kid watching Goldfinger and seeing that scene where he just blew up, or he's about to blow up the drug lab or whatever it is, and he's using his lighter to check the time just to have a look, even though the thing's got tritium lumen, doesn't really have to. Good brand placement. So yeah, to me this was the Bond. What was your favorite?
My favorite Bond watch. It's tough. It's between the Omega and the Rolex sub. Of course, I mean, how could you go wrong with the sub? The James Bond sub, right? I just saw Archie there and he took off. But yeah, I mean, how can you go wrong with that? That's a classic, amazing watch. I mean, how could you not like that watch?
Yeah, 100%. Which of the Omega ones did you like of the Bond?
I actually like the one that's previous to the current version. I like the one that's thinner. It's just the wave dial. I think it's the aluminum wave dial, and it has the aluminum bezel. That one that Pierce Brosnan worn.
Yes. Talking about this model.
Exactly, and it's also really comfortable as well. I think the thinness just helps, and the clasp is nice. Just everything about it is pretty nice for what you pay.
Yeah, you got to really like to have one on the wrist to understand how comfortable this thing fits. It's a very thin profile for a dive watch, especially in an automatic. So I had a black version of this watch. What do they call that? It's like the 006 watch or whatever it was, the bad guy in GoldenEye. But so I had the coaxial movement, very thin, very comfortable, fit great on the wrist. And to be honest, actually mine, when I got it, I was short a link. And Archie at the time had a video about a week before that, and he was selling a whole bunch of links. He had a massive collection of just spare links, I think, from the ones that he's kind of removed. And I ended up buying 2 of the Seamaster links from him, and he threw in a whole bag full of the pins and stuff and all that. So, yeah, no, very good.
Yeah, that watch to me, it just feels like clouds. It just feels like a cloud on your wrist. You know what I mean? And you got the coaxial and all that. I love it.
Very comfortable.
It's great.
Very, very comfortable watch. And also, it started off as a quartz watch in GoldenEye, and then I think it was Tomorrow Never Dies, the next one where they upgraded him to the coaxial. So I think NATO here. So he's saying Brosnan, War, Quartz, Dinner. Yeah, in the first movie he did, and into the second movie he did, and then part of the way into the second movie, I think it was Q upgraded him, or later on, I think the agent he was working with or whatever, he ended up swapping out. But yeah, he ended up with the coaxial after. And to be honest, Pierce Brosnan loves that watch, still actually wears it to this day, just has it, enjoys it.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few pictures of him with the watch, and he always just has a smile on his face. There's even a watch where he's double wristing the Omegas on there. And I don't know, it's pretty cool. I just seen a comment. Is this guy Doc BBW's brother? Yes. How did you guys know? We're brothers. That's actually my brother from another mother.
And here he is, the Pontiff. He's
back. Thank you for that there. I got to tell you, we did a reboot. Tell me this Omega. What are we looking at here?
I was just bringing up a bit of like watches of espionage, having a bit of a chat about it, and then we went into the Bond watches. And then here we go, Mr. GMT. That's my
watch. You know what I find interesting? Out of all the quartz watches that have been in existence, the Bond, the Golden Eye, the version of this in the quartz, it's a fucking good watch.
Yeah.
Nice case, nice bracelet.
How comfortable it sits.
And I remember buying these for like $1,500.
Yeah, and I think I know now. I think I know that with each of those things, you pulled a couple of links out and kept them, because at one point you were selling them, and I ended up buying a couple of links from you way back in the day.
You bought some links off me.
I bought 2 links you sent to me for the because I ended up having the black dial coaxial, and same shit, and so I ended up, I think I bought 2 links, and you sent me a bag full of the pins and collars, like just massive amount of them. So thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Hey, no, that's great. What's going on with these watches? Are they collectible? What's your opinion on them?
They've gone up a little bit in price on the second-hand market. I've been keeping an eye on them, especially when Mr. GMT was buying one not too long ago. But I think he bought it, was it mid last year or something, Mr. GMT? I'm not sure if you're there. Comment. He ended up buying one. They're going for high 2s, low 3s in a quartz, and in a coaxial they're going for mid 3s, high 3s around there. 41 mil, and then you can get the smaller version, 36. The Prince William watch for, I don't know, mid 2s, full box papers.
Yeah, the thing is, it's the James Bond watch, right? So you know, if they don't make that model anymore, you know, there's a lot of James Bond fans, and you know, if you get one of the old ones, you know. Then...
Interestingly enough, Aiden, some of the Bond limited editions, you know, what the fuck was it? It had the 8300 movement in it, the Planet Ocean. It had the 007 on the second hand. They've kind of tanked a bit
because they look boxy.
It's a little tacky though. I mean, if it has 007 like directly on the back, real big, and it has James Bond, you know, his face on the front or something, or crazy, right?
Yeah, they were a nice watch, but I kind of wonder. Sometimes you wonder, you know, what's happened to Millennium stuff? Remember, they did a whole lot of limited editions for the Millennium.
Nothing.
That stuff really isn't worth.
Mickey. So the cool thing about this watch, though, the early iteration, I'm talking the 90, like, you know, the mid 90s version of this watch, is it comes out with tritium lume, and the tritium likes to go that nice custody creamy color over time, and the bezel fades a little bit. Mr. GMT's on.
GMT's on. Get him on here. He's great.
I just thought I'd quickly tell you boys, I bought this one mid last year, the quartz, and I bought it for $2,000. Are you telling me it's almost gone $1,000 up since last year?
It's, if you have a look, to find one now, so you got a really good deal. You got a really good deal, and so did
mine's got box papers, everything. Mine's complete.
It's gone up. Honestly, it's the 36 mil that you're talking around that range now. It's gone up. Everything's gone up. Now, in the last few weeks, I don't know if it's dropped a bit because everything seems to be dropping. No one's buying, but it did go up. Yeah.
Fuck. Oh, got a good buy then. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. The cool thing with them though is the early ones. I don't know what year model yours is, Mr. GMT, but the early ones have tritium. They go a nice, cool custody color on the indices and so forth, and the blue bezel fades a little bit. It goes like a lighter blue. It looks really good. So they age really well.
I've got to go and have a look at my paperwork. I can't now, obviously, but when I get home, I'm going to go have a look at my paperwork.
So this guy uses this watch as a beater, and he has it on the rubber strap as well.
Yeah, it's my beater.
That's
I
his
love
beater
it. So comfortable.
That's what
Yeah,
he has.
I also got mine before the hype as well, but it's the automatic version, and I mean, I enjoy it. I don't care if it goes up or down in value. Like, it's not for sale, you know, unless maybe it went to like $1 million and it'd be like, oh, $1 million. But yeah, that's not gonna happen.
That's that's just if you didn't sell it, you'd be nuts. Put it that way. For $1 million.
Archibald Chesterfield III. What do you think of this Lange?
This Lange here. Oh, look at this. What is this? This is an 1815. It's fucking salmon dial. Look at that.
That's cool. That's gorgeous, man. I love it.
Beautiful.
Look at the subdials, chocolate as well. Goes really good with that strap. Works.
Is this a new release? Tell me the significance of this one here. What is it exactly?
2021. Concorso edition salmon 2021.
We don't have an expert on to help us out, Arch.
Flyback chronograph. Beautiful. What expert would you like on, mate? We need 10.
Jonathan.
Oh, no. If he comes on, I'm only going to get him to show the world time for you again. You know this, right?
Fuck that world time.
Amazing stuff, isn't it?
I think it's pretty. Archie,
it's very pretty.
Talk to me. What
are we doing my God, that's incredible.
Mr. GMT, while we got you, because I know you're busy, you're driving around, you got to...
Yes, he's doing heaps of stuff, isn't he? He's a very cool guy.
So, Mr. GMT, you've got, call it 25,000 Australian, 20 US, 3 watches, you can't have the same brand. What would you buy? Mr. GMT.
25,000 US. 25,000 US.
20 US, 25 Australian. I'm just trying to help you out here so you can understand.
Okay. All right. And we can choose any watch?
3 watches. They can't be of the same brand. You can't get like Rolex. It has to be like one of each brand. What would you do?
All right. Okay. What I'll get is I'll get the 41. No, I'll get my Monaco. That's the one I'll get for sure. That's the first one.
I'll 7.
Yep. I'll get a. Does it have to be modern or old? Can it be anything? And is it at retail or is it in the aftermarket?
Anything you want.
On the grey market. All right. I'll get a sub.
Yeah.
Just a nice black sub.
Yep.
And.
Quick super chat.
I'll get my Glasuta.
There we go.
That should do it.
Pavel, $5. Arch. Super chat.
Best metal version of Saxonia Moon Phase Arch. Oh, best metal. I got to tell you, the Saxonia, that's kind of Lange's ultra thin version. They have quite a few. That one there, I like that white dial there. It's rose gold. That one there now. No, yeah, that's just beautiful. Look at that. That's what I think the Saxonia should be, because it's supposed to be their thinner. I actually prefer generally the 1815s to the Saxonia, but these are still beautiful. Speaking of Langes, look who we've got on the stream now. Mr. Lange himself. Hello, sir.
There we go.
Fuck you, Mr. GMT.
Comes out of the box swinging. Well done.
Hey, good morning. It's 2:30 in the morning. I couldn't sleep and I was just watching the show.
And the first thing you heard was Mr. GMT.
Yeah, kind of. So how bad can it be?
True.
So
just quickly, because I know GMT hasn't seen your watch. You want to bring it up for us, Jonathan?
No, I'm not gonna go into that rabbit hole. If you missed it, you missed it. So about that Salmon dial chronograph 1815 Lange, that is a very special watch that you can only get when you win the Concours d'Elegance, which is a competition of vintage cars, and Lange were doing those for the winners. So you can't buy them. Absolutely gorgeous, fantastic, beautiful piece.
I see. They were doing them for the winners.
Yeah. They also made one, if I remember correctly, with an entire salmon dial the year before. So yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Which one do you prefer, entire salmon or this one?
This one.
Yes,
salmon. I think but beggars can't be choosers, no matter which one you give me. Yeah.
Man, I'm struggling to get a Rolex at the moment. Don't worry, this is out of my price range, but we can draw. This is, for me, this is like looking at, the posters of Lamborghinis and Ferraris on your wall.
Yeah, that's poster material. I agree with you. Yeah.
So, Jonathan, what about this one?
My personal favorite is the white gold with the black dial. Always has been.
Okay, I'll bring it up. Give me a sec. We just find a good one here.
All right, Jonathan, get some fucking sleep already.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be hopping off in 10 minutes. I just thought I'm hopping on, swearing at you.
You just wanted to
educate you a little bit on Lange, show my world timer, and then leave.
That's what we want.
Hey Archie, no disrespect to you, but I had to put that guy into his place.
No problems, sir. No problems.
Yeah. So that, in my opinion, is the best one. But guys, try that out because it is 40 millimeters. It's a little bit bigger than the sweet spot of Lange. Lange's sweet spot, in my opinion, is 38.5. This is unfortunately 40, the modern version. What I like about it is the big date with the black background, which is a nice touch, in my opinion. So try it in 40 millimeters, and this is a winner, in my opinion.
I like how they've done the white numerals on the black. If they did it any other way, it would have sucked. It would have taken away from the watch completely.
Well, they made a previous model, if I remember correctly, in 38.5 with a beautiful movement with that 3/4 rotor, which is the far superior movement. You just showed the yellow gold variant of it. So movement-wise, the old version is nicer. Look-wise, the new version is a little bit nicer.
Yeah, that's a great looking watch. Great looking watch. I think I'd prefer the yellow gold on that one though, with the white dial. And I think that would just knock it out of the park there. But you bring up an interesting point where you say 38.5. You normally don't hear people say 38.5, and I think that size is a very, very interesting size to have.
That is the perfect size. That is the size of the original Lange one.
Nice.
So, but I wanted to bring up an interesting James Bond piece, if you don't mind.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
Are you gonna do it now?
Say it again.
You're not gonna talk about the other thing we talked about last time.
No, different one.
Okay.
Different one. Maybe you can pull that up timely.
Yeah, go for it. Which one?
I have it here in the presentation mode. You have to pull it down.
Are you talking about the one that lights up? The one that lights up?
No, I can show that as well. So actually, that is my picture here. That is not many people remember that. I'm old enough. I started being a James Bond.
Oh, one was it? Was that Roger Moore?
Yes, those were the Roger Moore Seikos. Seiko was the big thing in the 1970s and 80s, and Seiko United Kingdom, they promoted those watches, and I couldn't get one back in 1984 when 83 when Octopussy was on. I thought that watch was totally cool, and I've been able to secure a couple of them in mint condition, because this is a plastic bezel, and the bracelet, the black parts, is really paint, so those are crap.
If I remember correctly, around that square that moved, didn't it? That was like your seconds, is that right?
It was a kind of analog digital second.
Yeah, I remember that.
You may laugh about those Seikos until I tell you I recently sold one. I have a mint one. I have a couple of mint ones. I sold one, and now let's guess how much I got for this. Archie, what do you think? How much those are selling in perfect mint condition?
$1,000.
Can I have a guess? I reckon 3,000.
Timely.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Australian 6.
I'm gonna say 25.
2,500 or
2,500.
2,500. Okay. I sold it for 6,700 euros.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Shit.
Wow.
Jeez.
Well, yeah. you know the Quantum of Solace sunglasses. I have a pair of gold ones and a pair of the ones that he wore on the movie. They're selling up to $14,000 now. I bought them for $250.
Yeah. I remember that, and they were a rip-off of a different brand, actually.
Yeah, I don't know, but all I know is that they sell for quite a lot of money, and I'm glad that I got them in my possession.
Yeah. So I thought that those are really cool. Mr. GMT, do you want me to show that light up watch as well?
Yeah, might as well, since you show. Have you got it easy to show or not?
No, I have it on my YouTube channel. 1 second.
You'll like this. What he actually got a prop. You'll see this prop. You'll like
so
this.
Archie, you may not know, I've been an extra in one of the James Bond movies.
Wow, you're joking.
No, I'm serious. So they shot Tomorrow Never Dies partly in Hamburg, and when that happened, I was an extra. I got the job through a good friend of mine, and he secured me the job. It sounds more
paid.
Say it again.
It was a paid job.
Yeah, I got money for it. I was there for I was booked for 3 days. They only shot for 2 days because the weather was bad. But I've been paid for 3 days, but the pay is not really big. So
I see. And can you see you in the movie? Have you found yourself in the movie?
that is the part which is not so super interesting. You can see me, but you can only see me sitting in the back of a car. So
I see.
Oh, well, there you go. Now you've narrowed it down.
He's being humble. He was a stunt double. That's what I think. The stunt double.
I wish I was. 1 second. I'm still struggling with
YouTube. He was the doctor, the torturer guy.
Yeah, that was a movie, but it was not me. No.
Come on, Higgins, what are you doing?
Yeah. Don't rush me. I'm an old man. So.
Mach schnell. Let's go.
Who's most likely to be a James Bond villain on the panel? What do you guys think?
Ooh.
Oh, for sure, Mr. GMT.
Oh shit.
He did all the bleaching and everything.
No, I'll be the henchman.
That's what. Anyway.
Bloody hell, where's that light up watch? I can't find it anymore on my YouTube channel.
Archie.
Yes, sir.
What's good on your screen at the moment?
Hey, let's have a look there. What do we got there? We have got...
Just remember, PG audience.
I have to apologize. It's not on my YouTube channel. So what I have is one of those Bond watches. I think it was The World Is Not Enough. He lights or he ignites a kind of airbag when an avalanche goes down,
Oh, don't worry. That was just Chrono 24. That was Chrono 24, Timely.
Okay. Yeah,
Chrono 24. Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I was trying to. I'm looking at the
Sorry.
reflection.
Yeah, no, that was Chrono 24. But sorry, you're saying what about the airbag? What happens to the airbag, Jonathan?
He ignites an airbag, and there is a special effect where the loom plots are ignited with LEDs. And Omega made a few decoration pieces for Omega ADs that featured that LED effect. So they took real Omega cases, real Omega dials, and gave it to a special company, and they replaced the loom plots with LEDs, and they looked incredible in AD windows. And a couple of them are among collectors, and I have 2 of them. So yeah, so it is.
Did you say that? Sorry, I missed the conversation. Did you tell them that one got stolen or something?
Yes, one of them got stolen. I had burglars here 20 years ago, and they were in my James Bond collection, and they took that decoration piece. They cut the wire because they thought that is in the way. They didn't even realize that they didn't get a real watch because it doesn't have a movement. But that was heartbreaking that they took this particular one. But I was able to replace it a little bit later.
That's terrible. What a terrible thing to happen there.
Yeah, but I told you, Archie.
Did you meet any of the crew from the movie? Tell me this. Did you meet Roger Moore?
No, I met Roger Moore once, just briefly on the street in Switzerland. And Pierce Brosnan was around when I was the extra in Hamburg. He was around for 2 days. Super nice person, super nice guy. Very, very happy, and everybody really liked him.
Wow, Pierce Brosnan.
Yes, Pierce Brosnan. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. And you said hello to both of them?
Steal himself, eh?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Amazing stuff.
So just a little bit off topic, but I got a question for you guys because I have no idea.
Yes, sir.
What do you think of these?
Hermes, they used to be more of a fashion watch. I mean, their handbags are the Patek Philippe of handbags. Their watches are it's a bit like Mont Blanc. They kind of a lifestyle. They pitch these at a much lower level. They're not the Patek Philippe of the watch business. Hermes, interesting design. They've had some really interesting design. They've been doing watches for a number of for decades. How long have they done watches for? I think since the 80s. I think. Jonathan, you're an Hermes fan.
I'm not a super fan of their watches, but this particular one, the H8, which is their last recent model, I really like it. It's a casual watch, and it doesn't have those dodgy lugs that they usually do. Timely, if you go back, those weird lugs are my pet peeve with Hermes. For a long time, it just looks cheap, in my opinion. The Arceau, for example, those 2 different lugs, they are ugly, in my opinion.
Those 2 designs.
Yeah. So, but I like the H8, that squarish one, and I'm a big fan of their Slim line. They have a watch called Slim, and it has a beautiful Vaucher movement with a micro rotor. And in my opinion, they are slightly underpriced even.
Yes.
So they may be sold out on the Hermes webpage, so you may try to find it on Hodinkee or something.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look.
Amazing stuff, really. Hermes sells a lot of fantastic stuff, and
you don't hear overly a lot, so I just thought I'd ask the question.
Yeah, very. I think they use that to secure the hard to get items like the handbags and that. You've got to buy this sort of their filler. They also do high end clothing. It's very expensive.
Jonathan,
Have a look at the movement. Yes, yes.
Very, very expensive, and it's kind of
wow, it's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful, Archie?
Yes, yes, it is absolutely beautiful. And the thing about this is micro rotor.
Yeah,
not I think this is steel. This is steel, isn't it?
That is steel. Yes, they're selling in Germany for 5,500.
Yeah.
Which in my opinion is good value if you have a look at the movement. We can debate all day long if an Hermes watch is worth that. In my opinion, I like the design of the dial as well. In my opinion, it's a winner. They also have that in titanium, which I like even more. It has that orange 12 then. So so the dial is a sandwich dial, by the way. So those numbers are cut out.
Very cool.
It's pretty cool.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, yeah, I'm back. Hey.
And their straps are the best in the business, in my
boys.
opinion.
Look it's been fun. I've got to head off. Take care, and we'll talk soon. Stay sexy, boys.
Hey, Mr. GMT, you lured me in. You can't do that.
I know. Every time you're sleeping and someone says your name, you just hear a ping, and you wake up and you come on. I know exactly what happens. All right, stay sexy, boys. Ciao.
Yes, sexy. Ciao.
Ciao.
Cool.
Very cool.
I like this watch.
Yeah, me too.
It's cool that we're discussing watches in the medium price ranges that are outside of the norm. I mean, this is probably, if you bought it at retail, probably going to do the normal drop in value, like 90% of all other brands. But this is a hell of a watch, and even if you bought it at retail for 56, it looks to me like worth every penny. I mean, the finishing on the movement on the back and the sandwich dial and the styling. I mean,
look,
fuck.
People don't realize how difficult it is to make a three-hander watch, a normal dress watch like that. So I'm just seeing here in the comments, the numerals are ugly, but I applaud Hermes for doing something very simple, but different and recognizable from all the other brands.
Do you think Hermes is a fashion watch? Like it's kind of like a Gucci or something like that, or is this a proper standalone sort of watch? What's
so this particular watch, I think it's a different level. Usually they're kind of fashion watches. They also have those plated cases and stuff like that, which I don't like at all. But the slimline and the H8 that we've just seen are, in my opinion, far above the fashion watches, just like Gucci. They have a more serious approach, but sometimes they're getting costly. They have a beautiful GMT or travel time watch as well.
I've got for me, these guys, they're kind of more like Cartier in a way, and I don't mean in style. I just mean in they do their jewelry and their fashion, but they're also serious about watches.
Yeah, they're crossover company.
But look at the leather bracelet. In my opinion, the leather bracelets are the best in the business. No doubt.
What I like about this brand is that so many other companies are scared to try different weird designs or do something to think outside of the box. And with this brand, they're thinking outside the box and doing some unique things. And, maybe they are a fashion brand, or maybe they aren't. That's kind of your opinion or not. But I do appreciate when somebody tries to, think outside of the box.
Well, what they've done here, they've done it very well. That's what I've got to say about it.
There is a funny story about this particular movement, because when they started with the slimline, they were exploring a couple of alternatives. And one of the movement that has been suggested to them, they rejected, and that is now the standard movement in Cartier watches. I'm not joking. That is a true story.
It's a shame Mr. GMT's gone, because the next one that I was going to bring up, he actually has one of these in a silver dial. What's your opinion Mr. Higgins?
Yeah, that's a difficult thing. As a standalone watch, that is a nice watch, and it's a super attractive price. The problem is when you have a look at this particular watch, you always think Lange 1, and it cannot compare with a Lange 1 in terms of quality, and it is you buy this when you want a Lange 1, but you don't want to spend the money. In my experience, when I do this kind of stuff, I always think of the better watch when I'm wearing the watch that is inferior to it. So as a standalone watch, very good value, very nice watch, but to me it tells it's not a Lange 1, and what you want to get is a Lange 1. I apologize for being a snob.
So you're saying it's a Lange 1 wannabe, but
yes,
to me, it's beautiful, and I'm sure the price is considerably lower than
very much
the Lange. And I'm kind of a Glashütte fan, so I give this watch a thumbs up. I'd love to see the back. You know, Glashütte really does up their movements, at least as far as I've seen.
The movement is beautiful as well. What do you think, Archie?
They go above and beyond for their price point.
I gotta be totally honest with you. I've never been a big Glashütte fan because it looks like it's a Lange try hard. But okay, you look at the history of this brand, and it's named after the region, and it has a lot of tie-ins with the Lange design elements because it's from that region. So you know it does have some credibility. It's not just a blatant copy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The thing is, you know, I've always, you know, the Lange 1, you know, the 38mm one, that's always been such amazing bang. It's been amazing bang per buck. You know what I mean? That watch has just been incredible. It's been incredible sort of
Glashütte seems to have they run this dual swan neck adjustment on a lot of their models, with the hand engraving and stuff. That's just, you don't see that in very many watches at all, except with Glashütte. I don't know of any other watch that has a dual swan neck with hand engraving on it, and all the fixins. I mean, it's got the Geneva lines and engine turning probably somewhere along the way. If we saw the rest of the movement, and a beautiful gold edged rotor, you know, with the gold logo.
Before, Jonathan, you were talking about how lovely Hermes watch straps are and they're the best quality. What do you think of this kind of watch strap?
Oh my God! Yeah, now you're provoking me. It's time for me to go.
Just putting it out there.
One of my pet peeves is that Instagram page Lange is on NATO's. Not sure if you showed that up. So.
Lange's on NATO's. What a great idea, hey? Yeah, I don't think you can really do that, can you? Really, hey?
Well, you can. You shouldn't, but you can.
Yes, exactly right there. It's,
guys, I have to go. It's now 10 to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Ooh. What time do you go to bed normally?
Usually at around 11.
Okay, no worries. Thanks for coming on, sir.
I've been sleeping, and I just woke up and heard Mr. GMT talking shit about me. So I thought,
that's fine.
Okay, guys, you have a great show.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Cheers.
Cool.
Great guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's good. He jumps on. He's got a lot of watch knowledge. He's had a lot of experiences. Also, one of the things that he presented a while back, and this is like the first time I was on YouTube ever,
Yes.
He presented he was in the process of, I didn't get a chance to ask him, Fabergé egg.
Ooh.
He was remaking one. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Remaking Fabergé egg.
Remaking the movie prop from James Bond.
Oh. Jonathan was?
Jonathan, yeah. He was getting a replica made.
Holy fuck. What would you do with that thing?
Put it on display and enjoy it. He's got the time and the money to do it, so power to him.
Yes.
But yeah, if at a later date, Jonathan, if you're still watching for whatever reason, at a later date, if you wanted to come on and go through some of the cool stuff that you got going as well, that'd be great.
100%.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. I reckon doing a bit of a show on Jonathan and some of his like hobbies and his toys, I guess, would be pretty cool to go through.
Yeah, he's got some amazing stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck, man. All I got to do is win the lottery.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's it. That's all any of us have to do. It's too easy.
Yeah. I promise you, if I won the lottery, everybody here, I would take care of all of you.
Mikey, who do you think Archie was on the phone to before?
Even Aiden?
Everybody here would be set for life.
Uh-huh.
Even you, Aiden. Look after everyone.
Wow. Thanks, Mike. Mike's a good guy. Mike's a
very generous man.
But hey, it's just money, It's just money. If you win the lottery, what? So what? I mean, yeah, it makes things a little easier, but money doesn't buy everything, right?
So, quick question
but
for
you can throw it around and make a lot of people happy with it.
I'm sure Tan's going to ask soon again for his copy of signed copy of Luxury to Last.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm going to organize that for him, actually.
Cool.
We'll get that done very soon for him. Yes, sir.
We love our Tan, and we want to make sure that we have a happy Tan.
We got to make sure we have a very happy Tan. That's exactly right.
Cool. Well, we got 8 minutes left. Anything else you want to talk about?
I tell you what, that's we've had a very interesting show today. We've had many watches we've covered, many interesting things. What do you think of one watch per brand as a collection rule? What do you think of that?
I think it's good, but I think sometimes it has to be broken.
Rules are meant to be broken.
But it is fun for discussion.
Yes. I really like the collections that just focus in on one brand, whether it be Rolex or whatever. It doesn't matter. The collection just focuses in and then just lays it out really nice. And you're like, wow, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. Archie tried the one watch per brand thing once upon a time as well.
Yes, I did.
You could collect all one brand and then move on to another brand and collect all of that brand. And if you're a baller that big, then you can like have collections of brands instead of just a watch from that brand.
For me, my rule would be buy what you like. If it's 3 watches for a particular brand, it's 3 watches. It is what it is. Don't stick to a number. Like you were saying before, 4, 4, and 4. I get it. That's cool if it works out that way. Yeah. Buy what you like. Buy what you enjoy. Because ultimately, these things aren't fucking cheap, right? We're talking about really expensive shit here. And you don't want to be second guessing it.
No, 100% right there. Look, the thing about one watch per brand is it makes you think of what is the real attraction to that brand. What do you really like? What appeals to you? What is the fancy wancy? What is the essence of the brand? And I think that's kind of it forces you. Like when you start to have rules like that, one watch per brand, it forces you to say, you know what? I want to have, it's important. Certain things are important. And that's what I think is it when you set these rules, it makes you like you can't get too of, well, you can do anything you want. But what I'm trying to say is it's trying to make it better. Sometimes do rules make things better or they don't? You know what I mean?
I think for the sake of discussion, it forces you to kind of maybe pull a standout from each brand. That you forces you to pick a standout from each brand, and that's for the sake of discussion. I think that's a really good thing. It really introduces a lot more variety into the discussion. Instead of just like, okay, if you had a 5-piece combo, everybody go, okay, I want a sub, a Pepsi, a Daytona, a fucking, GMT, and a Yachtmaster. Okay, done. Right? That's just like vanilla, right?
Yes.
When you put a rule to just, this is just fun discussion. But when you put a rule like that, it forces you to kind of think more and look at a brand and pull, pick a standout out of each brand that you like maybe more than the others. And I think it's great for discussion.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, what I like about watch collecting though, there are no rules. So it's like, I can do whatever I want. I have total control. I can, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. I can just get whatever I want, and if I enjoy it and no one else likes it, then that's fine. So I mean, just the freedom of that is kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Archie's rule book went out the window. He had one watch per brand, and then had just one brand after that. And what brand was that, Archie? Hang on.
Paddock.
No.
Rolex.
No, but I think for the sake of discussion, which is what we do here, I think that's an awesome format for pulling up new and different watches that we normally wouldn't otherwise discuss anything about. I really like it. I over the last couple of days, I've really highly enjoyed this. The different watches that I've seen that I haven't seen before. Being discussed.
Yes,
it's very good.
100%. It's It is very fascinating. This is very fascinating stuff. And I got to tell you, watches themselves there, you treat them differently when you're building a collection. You say, you kind of maybe not double up. You want to cover your bases first. And then, but some people, what I really like is people who are purists who say, I just like dive watches. That's what I collect is dive watches. And that's a really interesting way to do things. Dive watches. And
like Tammy said, there are no real rules.
No.
That's
100%.
I think it might have been Tammy that said that, I think, just now.
Rules. Zero rules. You collect what you like.
Yeah, absolutely. So you set your own rules, you set your own parameters, but for the sake of discussion and education and learning and seeing the variety that's out there, I think the one watch, one brand per watch rule really, I mean, it's awesome for that, because then we don't just keep falling back on the standards, and
yes,
forces you to pull up new brands, new models of brands that you haven't seen, or new versions of watches that you hadn't looked at before, like solid gold speedies. Like we never talked about solid gold speedies before. Never.
Yes.
100%
right.
I fucking think it's great. I love it.
Yes. Now that's a very good way of looking at it there. I think the big thing is with watches is you've got to realize you don't need to own everything. Just because you like certain things, you don't have to own everything. Otherwise you go nuts. Like I don't know whether I'd ever own one of those gold Apollo 11s. The Apollo 11s we had up before. I love it, but I'm quite happy with the steel Speedmaster. You know what I mean? I'm quite happy with the steel. It's timely. What have we got here?
We've got this is a Pride and Pinion. So we've got a 6263.
Yes.
The Cosmograph, solid gold. What do we think? Vintage.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That uses a Valjoux 727 movement. 100% right. Look at that. 37 mil. This is sort of.
This would be a cool sort of kickback to like how we had the Omega in gold before. Similar kind of feel to it, but vintage Rolex.
Yes.
Wow. Was this a vintage Rolex Daytona?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to say I like it, and I don't mind Daytonas. Don't get me wrong; they're just a little small, and the hype and the price just kind of turns me off of them. I went and saw one.
Cool. The cool thing with these watches. The cool thing with these watches as well is when the guys went, the moon missions, the Apollo missions. Yeah, they had a Speedy, but they also took with them, a lot of people don't know, they took with them another watch, a backup watch. And some of them had a Cosmograph, and some of them had like the Bullover Lunar Pilot, and some had this, and some had that. So other watches went to the moon. And the Cosmograph was one of them that went. Don't know about it being in solid gold, but one of them did go.
The Pogue that I own is one William Pogue spent 182 days on Skylab and wasn't issued his Omega until like the day before he was shot up into the sky, and so he went to the boutique and bought his Seiko 6139 Pogue, which is now called the Pogue, and there's pictures of him wearing both, one on each wrist, and he said that he preferred the Seiko for doing thruster burns and stuff like that in space. Yeah, there were quite a few space watches. Bulova was one, and Omega, of course, and then the Seiko was smuggled aboard. That wasn't he smuggled it in his spacesuit.
Amazing story, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so cool. I learned all that when after my dad gave me the watch that he gave me, I realized what it was. And then
the Pogue, I got to be honest with you, a lot of people start with Seikos. Even I had a Seiko 5, and I even later on I saved up and bought a quartz Seiko. Jesus Christ, it's terrible. Guys, we better wrap this baby up. I want to thank everybody for coming on today. We've had some really good watch talk. It's been a really good show. I really do appreciate everybody who's come on here. We had JJ, we had Mr. Sexy, we had so many cool people come on here.
Professor
Professor Tint came on to just explain how to talk properly, which was great. Thank you, Tint.
Yeah.
Exactly. So really good show today, guys. Guys, we'll be back. I'll be broadcasting in 8.5 hours' time. And guys, we will see you otherwise tomorrow. See you later, guys.
Thanks for having me on, Arch.
See you later.
No worries.
See you later, Mr. Timely.
See ya.